Greetings. Do I sound normal? Because I was messing around with some audio stuff and my computer's on the fritz, so let me know if there's a problem. Hello, Mr. Streamer. Mr. Streamer, why don't you tell it like it is? This ratio of emote officially makes you a weeb again? What do you mean again? When was I officially a weeb before? What are you talking about? Umineko is barely weeb. It's literature. What are you talking about? Alright, so my hard drives are broken. I'm gonna have to do a little mini hardware refresh because I don't want to build a whole entire new computer, but I am going to I'm going to get a new case, I'm going to get a new motherboard, I'm going to get a new PSU, and I'm going to, for the first time in my life, attempt a CPU transfer from one MOBO to another. It's never been done by these hands, but I'm going to try. Yeah. I have reseated a CPU in the past and done the whole thermal paste tango, which I don't like to do, but I have done it successfully at least twice. But I will be trying that, yeah. Anyone, like, strongly not recommend that, or what? Like, I really hate seeding CPUs, but I'm going to try and do it. If it all goes horribly wrong and I lose the whole entire computer, then I have backups of everything. Basically, the only drives that I didn't have backups on were the ones that died, so they're dead. I have a backup computer that I could steal from Finn in order to stream in a pinch, but it won't run things as well as this one does, so I'll have to do my best. It's not that hard, but if you are clumsy, you can destroy the pins. I can be clumsy sometimes. I'll try and be careful. If your CPU Intel, it's really hard to mess up transporting the CPU. Yeah, is it? Okay, I only ever buy Intel. I'm sorry, I hate AMD. I'm sorry if you're an AMD person. I hate AMD so much. Hate it. Hate AMD. We'll never buy anything AMD. Oof. Yeah, sorry. You can't fuck up putting in Intel. Exactly. Joe, you have a PS5 and a Steam Deck. I don't care if someone else builds something with AMD parts and then I purchase it. That's fine. But when it comes to me, buy my own parts, hate AMD. Hate it. Why? Because I had one bad experience 20 years ago, and now I'm done forever, okay? You get one shot with me. What a horrible computer that ended up being. Never, ever again. Never. Tell the story. What? There's no story. It's just the computer sucked. Just the worst CPU ever. Had bad experience with fish. Yep. True. Had a dream the other night when you ended a stream by rating William. When will you make this dream a reality? Is that even a real person? That username is too long, isn't it? Oh no, I had an emote idea for Absolute Cinema with Kim called Absolutely Cinema. We can still do it, Merrick. We can still do it. I should talk to you about some emotes later. Vent a little bit of frustration. There are services to recover data from broken SSD HDD by physically connecting different driver, but it's probably costly. Yeah, I've been told that already. I probably will do it. It's not the work that I lost is not a disaster. Basically, I lost my entire recorded playthrough of Witcher 3 on 4 point whatever version, the new version. I had already replaced a bunch of footage and stuff that I needed and rendered out a usable copy of that, but it's still annoying to have lost that. So yeah, I would like to have that back. Yeah, it's not a disaster, but it's not fun, you know. Who do you think for the news about it? I'm waiting for like us to hit the 10-minute mark, and then I will say thank you. That happened just now? What do you mean? What happened just now? I woke up one day last week and 2 of my hard drives are blown. So I'm having some other problems with the PC as well. So I'm guessing that there's either a motherboard problem or a PSU problem, so I'm just going to replace both of them. I cannot get my Valve Index to work on this computer. It just will not do it. And then I thought, okay, maybe the Index is broken. So I took it downstairs and I plugged it into the old computer, and it worked perfectly. And I got to do 2 tracks of Beat Saber, and I am fucking hungry for more. I want to get back into Beat Saber. I want to Beat Saber. I did Rasputin. I did that, and it got to the part where you have to squat down underneath the red zone that appears, and it was the first time I'd ever done Beat Saber since going to the gym, and man, I felt different. I was like, oh, this is easy. Here I go. I used to die doing that part, but now I'm like, I can hold it. It was leg day today, by the way. Beat Saber streams. Yeah. Speaking of hunger, have you eaten anything? I have eaten a protein bar today and a meal, so I'm doing okay. Use Steam Deck for streaming. The Steam Deck's broken too. I dropped it on my UPS and almost cried. Everything's broken. Ping Discord. Okay. As a mapper for official content, I'd absolutely love to see you stream Beat Saber online. Oh, would you? I'm not terrible at it. I'm not the best, but I'm not terrible. I was rusty and I still did, I still cleared the maps I did, so I'm happy about that. Oh, it's our first stream announcement since we updated Jads to the community server. How's it gonna go? People can opt out of that now if they want, I think. I don't know. Should I include that in the note? Umineko sandwiches begin now. On Saturday, we will be doing a special collab stream with Mouse for co-reading the VN. Also, we have new emotes today. You might be able to turn this channel off now since we upgraded the server to community mode if these pings bother yo. Share with your followers, publish. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? Do I hit it? Yes, hit it. Chat wants me to hit it? Okay, I hit it. The message will be sent to all servers following this channel. What? You can edit or delete this message later and it will update correspondingly in each following server. Okay. I hit it. I hit it. Okay. Fun. Will there be cheese provided for the mouse, says Cactus Corpse in a linked image in Dragon's Den. Okay, so first order of business is to say that today we are streaming Umineko on a Tuesday for the first time. Umineko Saturdays on a Tuesday are now a reality, along with Steins Gate Sundays on a Saturday. So we are going to be doing this probably every week until Umineko is done, unless I decide to quit. So we'll see how it goes. So we're doing 2 now. So yeah, after we're done with Persona 3, we will be going into Persona 3 The Answer, or I'm considering doing a quick break to stream Signalis and Returnal, and then doing The Answer, and then after The Answer we either play another small game or go from The Answer straight into Baldur's Gate 3. That is what I'm thinking of doing. So we'll see. I don't know if I want to go straight into The Answer after Persona 3. We will decide. I think we're going to finish Persona 3 this week, are we not? Or maybe it's going to be next week. I don't know. Are you going to give H-Bomber Guy a Chainsaw Man marble? I will give H-Bomber Guy any marble that he wants. If H-Bomber Guy is for some reason here and wants a marble, H-Bomber Guy can have a marble. Sure. Yeah. Chainsawer Guy? Yeah, we can do that. In addition to that, we have some new emotes today. All of the Umineko and... sorry, no, that's not true. Because one of them is not made by Vixit. The Beatrice ones are made by Vixit, so thank you Vixit for the Beatrice emotes. The Static Ann is by Harmva and French Fry. The Dancing Fry is by an uncredited artist, whom I'm not exactly sure if they would like to be credited. If they would like to be credited, I will definitely credit them when they inform me that they want to be credited, but my read on the message that I had with them was that they wanted to remain uncredited artists. So they are the ones that made Le Fry, okay? So if that's different, then let me know. And the Smile is made by Tep. Thank you, Tep. H-Bomber Guy feels like almost an anomaly in how he seems to be such a bright spot on YouTube. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like H-Bomber Guy has arguably the most iconic YouTube moment of all time when he bursts through the wall. I don't think there's anything on YouTube that's in my circle at least that has that energy that is like holy shit. Like yeah, for sure. Yeah. When is Wizard and Dragon 2? I have many unanswered questions. There is no Wizard and Dragon 2. If I ever continue that series, it will be from a mix of the Monster Slayer line with that, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Hopefully, but maybe. And also, just to repeat the announcement that just went on stream, and also the one that is on the title, we are going to be doing another co-streaming thing on Saturday, this time with Mouse, who will be doing Goofy Voice, Kermit the Frog, Arnold, random helicopter noises, things like that. No, Mouse will be voicing all of the girls, and I'll be voicing all the boys. So we're gonna see how that goes, and if we're gonna take it seriously, and if that goes well, then maybe we'll do it again. But we'll see how it goes. When is Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door? Sometime this year, probably. Oh man, the moment will be a co-stream. Funny that, huh? Chaos game, remember? I remember the Chaos game. Are we gonna do that? They're all asking who I am. Can you tell them I'm a Jads mod? Mouse is a Jads mod, yes. 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 And also the biggest Umineko fan on the server. You will love Chaos game. What is Jads? There we go. What about Kusuro? Kusuro is only pretending to be the biggest Umineko fan in order to bamboozle the streamer into streaming for the first time on the Leap Day with shitty fucking background art thing, okay? That is what it was, alright? That is what it was. Possibly the biggest ownage that has ever happened on the stream ever. Sorry for the soul, you're forgiven. How long has Mouse been a part of the community? 10 days. I don't know. My first interaction with Mouse was during the Leap Day one, so about a year. Biggest ownage equals new Jetseiya category. That's true. That's true. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah. Hold on, having some water. She joined with Alan Wake because she's the second biggest Remedy fan on the server. Who's the first one? Because it's not you. It's not you, Balder. Getting that goddamn Baby Merchant song stuck on my head. Jelly, obviously. Oh, it's Jelly. Okay, I was gonna say it's not you because you haven't even played the game. So bamboozled. Also ownage. If you weren't here for the Alan Wake 1 streams, okay, Balder was in there giving like his own director commentary at every single point of reference and Finnish folklore bullshit the whole entire time, acting like he's Remedy's biggest fan and like, oh my god, can't believe you're finally streaming Alan Wake 1. And then at the very end, I say to him just offhandedly like, oh, like, how did you like this part? And he said to me, I don't know, I haven't played this game. The Baby Merchant song stuck in your head too? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I'm the Baby Merchant. I'm so sorry to tell you this, but I haven't actually played Alan Wake. I just watched my brother play it when I was a teen. Am I the only one here that's played Alan Wake? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but like one of my favorite stream moments of all time still lives rent-free in my head. Alan Wake 2 opening day, like fucking like zoom out from the lake. Boom, Alan, boom. This is a really big dramatic moment and all of us are just collectively losing our shit. Oh man. Oh. You were Alan Wake's biggest fan because you were its only fan. Alan Wake 2 was really good. Alan Wake 1 I could leave, to be honest, but it was nice having set up for Alan Wake 2. I wonder if Alan Wake 2 might hit even harder without Alan Wake 1 though. Like you can just pretend that it was just like more of it. Alan Wake 2 was really good. I really liked Alan Wake 2. Saga might go. Yeah, Saga is one of my favorite video game protagonists in recent memory. Oh my god, I love Saga. Oh man. Do you think 2 would ever go to Steam? You know, give it a couple years, maybe. Any interest in playing Control? Not only have I played Control, we streamed it. We streamed Control. Control was okay. Saga versus Beatrice. Let's not fight. Let's not fight. Any interest in playing Persona 3? Not today. Not today. Not today. Not today. Okay, so we're just kind of chilling right now. I think we're reading for 4 hours today, so it's okay. We have a little bit extra time to just chill out and hang for a bit. But yeah, maybe we should start soon. Please read the Joe Petaf Reddit post. It's hysterical. I'm gonna need 3 more people before I go and I'll tab out and read that. Would you recommend streaming Control? It's currently a big blind spot in my Remedy lore. It's okay, Jelly. Like it's not a bad game for sure. But I don't know. The story was interesting in terms of just like the setting, but like the narrative that happens to the characters wasn't that appealing to me. I did really like the setting though. I like the presentation, but a lot of it is gameplay that is kind of in that area where I'd just rather be playing Doom Eternal or something. You know what I mean? Like it's the gameplay is not bad. It's just not exceptional in any way. But I don't know. Different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? Like maybe you'll really like it. I don't know. Definitely not bad. The idea for Control is way cooler than the game. Yeah, I agree, Merrick. Maybe if they had a much bigger budget and like a sequel might go hard, depending on how it goes. Yeah. Max Payne's story was better. I don't really remember Max Payne 1 and 2. I should play Max Payne 3 at some point. They're making two sequels. Do you plan on playing the Alan Wake 2 DLC? No. Should I? Should we have a DLC week where we just play all the DLC? Or DLC month? Ooh. DLC December. No, we can't do that because that's Christmas. We're doing like Merry Yeekmas or whatever the fuck this year, aren't we? In October, we're doing Five Nights at Freddy's because I want to know how I can scare my children. What could we do? What's another month that starts with D? December. That's September with a D. Just sounds like... just normal December, Joe. No one's gonna get what you did because it just sounds like you said December. September. Do you have an Elden Ring Night Rain team ready? No, I don't even think I'm playing that. Dogust? It's like if I was a dog instead of a cat. Ah, yeah, okay. H Bomber guy left a comment about Chainsaw Man on Avarice's YouTube. Why the fuck is Harry watching Avarice? What? I will say this, and I hope he's okay with me saying this. Maybe I have said this on one point at one point before. Okay, I do know, and this is like from a while ago. He told me. Okay, H Bomber guy has watched in its entirety, if I remember correctly, the entire Hello Neighbor stream. And he liked it. just to watch me suffer. He even quoted a line from the stream that I had forgotten that he liked. He said, I've been thinking about you saying in Hello Neighbor, it's kill or be killed. I don't even remember saying that. that was years ago. He told me that. Yeah. Did you know the Outer Wild devs have seen your playthrough plus the DLC? Yes, I know. Stop bringing it up. I'm trying to forget. Fucking. Oh man. God damn it. Lemonade. Did you see the Umineko Reddit post I sent you? It's really good. I haven't seen it. No, sorry. Avarice made a new video about you. He did? About me? If you want to play the Alan Wake 2 DLC, it would probably be worth it to replay the game in the Final Cut mode, which adds some of the scenes. The 2 DLCs are naturally integrated into the story, so you can experience them all at one go. Yeah, see, this is the problem with doing DLC on stream. Like we have to replay the whole entire game. This is the problem with Doom Eternal as well. Like I really want to play the DLC of that, but I'd have to go through the whole entire game again to remember. Yay? No, yay. We don't want to do it again. Anyway, hold on. Let's say thank you, and let's actually start reading at some point in the next 10 minutes, okay? Here we go. Where are we at? Thank you, Farl Barl, for subbing while the stream was down. Thank you also to Top Virtuosity. Did you hear my voice change into like streamer mode there? Whoa. How long have I been able to do that? New tech. Damn. Alright, hey Joe, when you get around to playing Baldur's Gate 3, would you consider turning on legendary actions? There are powers bosses get that make their fights more unique, but you need to turn it on to get them. Can DM a video showing how to if you want. I don't know. I don't know. If it, yeah, sure, whatever. If people say yes, then okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Who do I know? Who do I know that and I trust has definitely played Baldur's Gate 3? Sereth? Sereth has played all through Baldur's Gate 3. And Wuggy? Yeah. Sereth, should I turn on legendary actions for Baldur's Gate 3 during the stream? I might actually just ask Sereth to pick my class for me too, by the way. Sereth knows how I play games. Not only does Sereth know how I play games, Sereth has played some games with me, and also like Sereth has plays games like I do often as well. So yeah. No, build a class live on stream. No, I don't know anything about it. I've done honored mode, Joe. If you need some advice, I do think they're cool, but it's super tough, so it would be murder. Well, chat likes to see me struggle. Marble race for class. Oh, do I need to extend it? 13 hours left. Okay. Isn't Baldur's Gate 3 months away? No, it's like 2 weeks away. Like 3 weeks away. March for sure. What? Yeah. We were meant to do Baldur's Gate 3 before Persona 3. Really? Yeah, really. Yeah, we're doing Baldur's Gate 3 like at the end of this month or sometime next month for sure. Take off redeem marbles when you reset. Too late. 10 centimeters away from the mic, maybe. It's still clipping on as, or do audio calibration off stream with Boulder, says Evander. No, I'm sitting decently far away from the mic. How bad is the clipping? Hold on. Okay, how's it now? Am I super quiet now, or what? Is it still okay? Ultra quiet? You're so quiet? Tiny show?
Alright guys, it's time to so Umineko, here we go. I'm just a wizard shrunk me down into like this little form, but I can still use the mouse, don't worry. I gotta need both hands, but I can do it. Alright, here we go.
Alright, okay, how about now? How's this? Still quiet? It's still quiet? Okay. Okay, how about now? How about now? Now we're hitting red. Is this good? Perfect. It's 10 decibels lower than what it was at the beginning of the stream. Perfect. Do we want it louder still, or are we good? Is it better than what it was in the beginning of stream? No? Yes? No? It's 10% better. Here's good, says Baldur. Try yelling a bit? What do you mean? I don't yell. I'm cool as a cucumber streamer. It's the same. It is not the same. It is 10 decibels different. Have you been playing Po2 Endgame? Pick your mom on chatter. Pick your fucking mom. Do your best Kinzo impression. Oh. Beatrice. There we go. How's that? Is it clipping? That was just the cookie monster. Oh, hello, Dr. Nanjo. Oh, have you seen Beatrice? I have new Beatrice snack. It is cookie. All right, how's the sound? Are we good? Okay, you let me know. You let me know if I need to turn up a little bit. Okay, it is. I don't know what's going on anymore. Let's just go. Let's just go. Oh my god, we've been live for half an hour. Thank you, Gaia Had, for the resub. Persona 3 fans sitting in chat going, maybe, bros, maybe this is all a bit. Maybe he's not gonna fucking read it at all. Maybe he's just gonna sit here and just talk. And then the Umineko fans will have their comeuppance. Here we go. Dalmek for gifting a sub to Not Koru. I'm suspicious. It's a Dalmek sub, but Joe, if I want to say something to you about Baldur's Gate 3, should I DM it to DM, or should I at you in the super secret channel? You can at me in the super secret channel, because then maybe Wuggy will have some input as well. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, thank you, Sarith. Thank you, Wuggy. Thank you, Clive. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Sid. Scrimbum has resubscribed with a message: resub on the day of my favorite streams with the new cinema emote. Ooh. The cinema emote looks like it's almost in widescreen. I don't understand how that works. Maybe it's just here? Huh. Thank you, Zyle Fenko, for the resub. Hey Joe, your Persona streams finally motivated me to play an Altus game myself. Currently playing Metaphor and having a blast. Looking forward when you get to it eventually. We might play Metaphor at the end of the year, I think. Or at least we'll allude to it. Thank you, Yuri was taken for the bits. If Canon made a wish to the witch, it would be, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a battler. Ah, nice. I wish I was a little bit taller. There's a Witcher 3 joke in there somewhere that is in the script. Thank you, Pokaboy, for the bits. Hey Joe, Umineko fan here. Your Persona 3 streams got me wanting to finally go back and finish my Persona 5 playthrough from a decade ago, so thanks for that. Decade? Gonna have to watch the first half of your run beforehand to remind myself what even happened in the game before I left off, though. I would have to do that too. All right. Good luck with that. Good luck. You're gonna play Meta 1 through 3 first, right? Yep. Yep. Thank you, Peace of Mind, for the resub. It is fall 2026. Joe is streaming, learning Japanese in a maid costume so that he can truly understand Umineko the way the Weeba understand it. The Weebs have won. Their once normie streamer has lost his last sliver of authority over his own stream. The last remaining normie in the chat sadly hits the unfollow button. It took that long? Weeba? Weeba? Oh, man. I learned Polish before Japanese. Don't worry about it. Thank you, XSort40, for the new sub. Welcome. Thank you, Snot Girl, for the resub, too. Joe, my husband and I have been huge fans of your streams and Umineko for years. Independently, like streams and Umineko at the same time, and now this is a good crossover. We spent 2 hours at dinner the other night just raving about your streams. Really? You're the best, and I'm so grateful for you. With a Jom stance. Oh, thank you, Snot Girl. All my best to Snotman. That sounds like it might have been a fun conversation. Was there a lot of like he knows he doesn't know? Snotman. Thank you, Big Man Rat, for the resub. Having enjoyed the Umineko streams, I decided to read just a tiny bit ahead of you, and I've somehow already managed to make it halfway through episode 3. And goddamn, is it peak? Is it peak? Is it peak? Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying this. Do I want to say this? I do. I've said it. I've started. Here we go. I'm not saying this about you, Big Man Rat, necessarily, but it seems like for some people, like this VN has made them realize that there is some value in literature. Maybe it's like, books. Oh, books are fire. Actually, wait, what? Because like, you know, when you're in school and you're being told to read some books, and like the teacher picks some like fucking like Canadian mandated book bullshit, like you like, what the fuck is this? Like a good book can hit you, man. A good book is good. It's right there. It's a tautology. Yeah. What are these books? Yeah, good job, chat. Yeah, no, I was reading something else before Umineko and I finished it so I could focus on Umineko. Ooh. Uber Super Sloth. Sorry to interrupt the stream, but there doesn't seem to be a good method for bans to be appealed. The whole message for an appeal doesn't work since you need to be in the same Discord to appeal. You can just like join on another account and DM me. And then after that, as long as you don't tell anyone you're banned, you know, avoiding the ban, like you're not going to get banned for that. Like it's fine if you want to do that. That's something you can do. Just ban evade. Well, I mean, like the unspoken rule about banning and being ban evaded is that if you come back in and now you're good and you never like step out again, but now you're just a different person, then problem fucking solved, isn't it, my weebs? Like. But yeah, if you want to just like make an account to and you only contact me to fucking like appeal your ban, that's fine. True, so true. I hate to admit it, you've read faster than me, and I must now disappear into the ether and return once I've read more. Like what? Once a week at the pace that I'm going? What are you doing? Oh, phone alarm just went off. Dude. Time for my 30 seconds of Umineko today. All right. Oh, this was a good line. Yeah, that's gonna come back later. Dude. All right, back to work. Here we go. What's going on? Good luck with it. Hope you like it. Wow, just gonna ADHD shame chat. So much hate. I can do that. Maybe I can do that. I'm allowed. Aren't I allowed? It's practically confirmed at this point, isn't it? Hey Dinner for the resub at tier 3. Vodfrog and Jadslurker here. So glad to have you back. By the way, I had a blast with Returnal. I think you'll dig it. That's good. I got to enjoy Signalis in a vacuum, so I hope chat behaves, lol. Thanks for all the hours of entertainment. I think I might close chat for Signalis. I'm serious. I think I might do it. John Ridge for the resub. My first time experiencing Umineko. It's been great so far. It's been pretty good, yeah. It's been pretty good. I'm mad about the candy line. Justifying the airport scene. You hate to see it. Now I can't cut it in my edit. It was just going to be red pen, just like it starts on the pier with the boat. That's it. That's where it starts. But nope, now we can't do it. Thank you, Diana Lesky, for gifting a sub to H Bomber Guy, who wants a marble for Chainsaw Man, maybe. I don't know. Thank you, Deathly Cake, for the resub. God, I love spinning chessboards. Big paddler energy. Thank you, Jackie Ohio, for gifting a sub to Tony Hawk Twa. So here I am. Thank you very much, Jackie Ohio. Man, I wonder what Tony Hawk is up to these days. Do we want to spread out new emotes, by the way? Do you guys like getting a bunch all at once, or do you think we should have like one a day, new a day for like a week or two if we get a big bunch making? Like, what do you think? I like the patch. A bunch at once. Up to you, my man. It is, but I'd like to know like what people like. Is it fun to have a bunch all at once? Doing the fry in the rain. We still have some. We're full on static ones now, but we do have some room for some animated ones. So if anyone would like to suggest that any of the emotes that are currently here have like the rain on them or like some basic movement, then yeah, just let me know and I can do that. We can fill the slots and just remove them later. That's fine. Okay, I think I might actually just have to rapid fire read out names and not do any messages if we're gonna get through this. Sometimes the Tuesday streams are like this. Man, I don't want to be rude. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Stormhail, Umineko till I cry. Potential pizza. Loving the Umineko read-through. I thought of what I wanted to say in my resub message last night, but now I forgot. Looking forward to your One Piece read-through after this. No, don't do that. Fabubba for the resub. Hello, Joe. I read Umineko fan after the first stream. It was okay. Thank you, Vaultboy127. Hey, Joe, since we're approaching the 25 stream mark for Persona 3, I was wondering about my payment for acting as all the chatters who love the game. When can I get it? Thank you, Fool's Gold, for the resub. My name might be more apt for a Persona 3 stream. Cut their mic. You just won fucking extra fucking Umineko stream on Tuesday. We won. Be gracious in victory. And humble in defeat. What the fuck? Thank you, Fetty Scum, for the new sub. Welcome. Thank you, Aussie9816 for the bits. Sorry about the Outer Wilds thing. I didn't know. Didn't mean to annoy you. Oh, you weren't annoying me. It's a joke around here, Aussie. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. You didn't do anything wrong. Don't worry. Thank you. I thought you knew and you were just playing into the bit. Henry Wyatt for the bits. Flexcam when? I don't have really much to flex. Unfortunately, I build muscle on my shoulders. I really build it in my legs. I build it in my back, but I don't build it where everyone wants to see it, which is like, you know, the arms. My triceps are coming up, but not my biceps. Fucking sucks, man. Fucking sucks. I'm gonna do lateral raises every single time I'm in the gym for a while. I think I did them today. They weren't on the schedule, and I still did them. My chest doesn't grow that much either. I'm upset. Anyway, thank you, Case403 again for resub. Hey, Joe, would you consider playing the spin-off fighting game when you're done with the novel? It's surprisingly fun. I don't really like fighting games, but maybe. I might be convinced. Jellyfish used 100 bits to say, Joe, something you might find interesting is Ryukishi07, the author, was a social worker before he wrote VNs. Yeah, a bunch of people said it to me. Yeah, it shows a little bit with the Rosa interactions, I think. Ouroboros18 used 500 bits to say, hey Joe, I was struggling studying for my exams tomorrow and saw that you were streaming Umineko. Thankfully, tuning in to see Umineko helped me realize how much more interesting my studies are. I worry for my future when you start playing an actual good game. Baldur's Gate 3. Oh wait, Umineko isn't a game. Persona 3 fans so back. Oh, Waffles heads, we're so back. It was Jover for a while, but now we're so back. Oh, damn. Thank you, Ofish Goon, for the resub. Would Tiny Joe lead to small jobs? That was... I hope the Tiny Joe bit sounded funny and not stupid. Thank you. Thank you, Arvis921, for the new song. Oh no. Okay, hold on. All right. Get your head back in it. All right, we're almost there. Home stretch. Here we go. Incomplete 3. Been watching live on and off since 2018, and yet not even a year subbed. Man, am I bad at remembering to use my Twitch Prime. Oh no, don't bring up Twitch Prime instead of in front of the Prime subbers. Thank you, Incomplete 3. Thank you, actually called Eric, with the FML gone, I think. Glad for more Neko content. Don't say it like that. Your streams are always a highlight of my week. Thank you, Eric. Tupac Too Furious for 1,000 bits. Vodboy and fellow dad here. I thought I'd ruin your day by telling you I've been reading Umineko for 5 months to my now 11-month-old daughter. We've just hit chapter 4, and hopefully we'll finish the whole thing before I have to start worrying about content warnings, or at least before you catch up. Oh, nice. When Finn was a baby, I used to watch The Walking Dead with him in my lap asleep. So I'm right there with you. Baby, he couldn't understand the screen. Like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. Baby, not like, you know, Persona 3, baby, like 2 months old baby, okay? Opinion on The Walking Dead? It has its moments, I guess. I don't know. Nozareld just made it to the stream. So glad I didn't miss any gameplay. Oh yeah, at this rate, we're gonna hopefully be starting in an hour. Goddamn. Dalnek has used some bits. Gonna be a video on demand amphibian. And just out of curiosity, you a fan of Dua Lipa? I don't know very many Dua Lipa songs. I know the I Got New Rules, I Got 'Em. Sometimes I quote that when I do, like, Jad's stupid shit. I like the Training Season song. They play that at the gym. Those are pretty much the only Dua Lipa songs I know, I think. So, but I like both of them, sure. I would like, tentatively listen to more Dua Lipa. I'm worried there's a joke here that I'm not getting. Do you or did you watch that? Stop distracting me! No, I don't like soccer. Or football. Top Lolly Are you, Joe, are you gonna buy that $500 life-sized Guardy plushie? No. I don't know what that is. Little uncomfortable. Dalmek used to miss to say, that's nice. How about you put Dua of your Lipas on my nuts? that doesn't even make sense. Can we change stream and go to fan art? We're getting some fan art vibes. Zephorix512, when you started this game, I, as a weeb, had no hope. Like today, you mean? I am here to apologize to the weeb community for not believing. It's not weeb, because it seems like the weeb's gambit is finally bearing fruit. The reference. Burn Zero Bread also gave out 10 gift subs to the community. Thank you very much, Burn Zero Bread. It was a Persona song that had burn my bread, right? I think that's what it sounded like when we listened to it. I can't remember now. It was so long ago. Yeah. Thank you for the gift sub. And Yuri was taken for gifting a sub to this time for sure. We did it. We're here. We're here in 51 minutes. In 51 minutes. 51 minutes. I'm actually reading 1984 right now. 1984 is pretty good. I enjoyed that book. That's a good book. I mean, I read it when I was 19, so maybe it doesn't hold up. I don't know. But like, yeah, I remember enjoying that. Room 101. What a dull book. Really? I think maybe the weirdest part of that book right now, if I was to reread it, would be the like the mandated exercise where everyone has to go in front of their screens and do like stretches in front of some drill instructor, and the main character has like some sort of like problem in his calf and like has to like stretch a muscle or something like that. That was a weird part thinking back. What's that all about? Any book recommendations? Umineko. Thank you, Toxic Cookie Art, for the bits. My husband is a huge fan of your stream and is always going on and on every time you start one. It would mean a lot if you said hi to him. His name is Brandon Greenawalt. Thank you. Greenawalt. Okay. Hello. Hi, Brandon Greenawalt. You seem to have a very thoughtful partner here. Hope that you're having a good day and that I'm not being bamboozled because chat's being a little weird. Doxed. Also, maybe it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you, Crimson Petals, for the bits as well. Crane was right. I passed the exam, just barely. True miracle happened. Really? Nice. The Crane was right. Hey. Nice. Good job. Good job. All right, here we go. Are you or are you not? I'm not. No, I'm not. Greg Chen streamed Saturday night and drunkenly raved about how cool you are and how you would love to be on your stream again. Oh, did he really? Oh, that's nice. Drunkenly? What? I love Greg. Greg's really cool. That's genuinely me, and I feel very caught off guard. My wife is laughing very hard. Actually, docs, I have no way to prove it to you, lol. I believed you. All right. Toxic, we got him. We got him, Toxic. We got him. Nice setup. Can you change the fan art time limit to 6 minutes so chat can scream there's only 6 minutes in Gen RDM? That's not enough time. That's not enough time. When Greg started making sex noises for no reason, I knew you two were meant for each other. When do I do that, Merrick? Almost all those quotes. Almost all those quotes. Almost all of the quotes you had in that video were just like bit messages, people making me say things. Almost all of them. Okay. We're going. Here we go. Locked in. All right, here we go. Okay. Stop distracting me. Okay, here we go. So I was playing Minecraft Dungeons with my kids last night. Do you guys want to know the story? Because it didn't go well, let me tell you. Can we take a break? Maybe we should take a break. I kind of need to pee. When they started hearing Battler's snores, the relatives went their separate ways, leaving the parlor and letting Battler sleep in silence. Even though... Okay, so last scene was we went to our mind palace to talk to Beatrice. And it's not confirmed yet or not if Battler knows everything. Oh, shit, hold on. It's some of you forgot that was on there, huh? And also, like, it's not clear or not if Battler knows about the battle that's going on, even if he's not in the sleeping realm or not, yeah? Okay, so we'll see. Even though it had been so lively in the parlor with so many people gathered there, when all of them scattered at once and were swallowed up by the vast mansion, it created an eerie silence with no sound except that of the rain. I could hear it. My mic still okay? Ooh, moody. Nope. I haven't met a person like that even once. Aneki? I haven't met them. Kirie-san, is that true? Even I only greeted her briefly when she came into the entrance hall. Even I? She looked like she was a bit over 20. I told her my name, but she didn't tell me hers. She was being guided by Genji-san, and I saw her go up to the second floor. So it'd probably be faster to find Genji-san and ask him directly. Still, what a strange turn. The mystery woman had spoken to Kirie. Without naming herself, she'd sneered that Kirie should have had a vague idea as to her identity. That brought someone to mind, and then there was her look-alike, the witch in the portrait. Interesting. Wonder what this would have looked like in the original. By the way, I just want to acknowledge the elephant in the room when it comes to this ship, by the way. Yes, I don't know how many anime games in a row. This is just morbing with extra steps. Okay? I feel kind of owned about it, that we're once again in a morbing story. But, yeah. Yeah. It's a trend. Was this person trying to say she was the witch of the portrait herself? I realized she was probably laughing at me for that reason. Even though it was our first meeting, she spoke as though she knew I'm your second wife. Nikki, you really don't know anyone like that? You talk too much. I've never seen a blonde woman like that go in or out of this mansion. That kind of thing doesn't matter. The problem is what happens if that woman starts calling herself Beatrice, if she starts calling herself the manager of father's assets. Or maybe she plans to call herself his mistress's daughter and demand that she get a share of the inheritance. Smart thoughts. Either way, we've had one heck of a joker slipped into the deck. Belatro? Did Nissan bring her here? Or did father? This is bad. We thought we could manage something if we could corner a Nikki in our talks. But this takes us back to square one. I don't know what kind of schemes you've been making when I'm not around, dear, but it looks like we've been given a little time to form a counter-strategy. Yeah, better to have some time to prepare than to have that blonde-haired Ni-chan suddenly appear at the dinner table and scare the shit out of us. Until we know why she's appeared, there's a limit to the kinds of counters we can make. What could she be after? Isn't it obvious? She's going to claim that she's the rightful heir to father's inheritance. Father is still captivated by Beatrice. If he had a daughter with her, you can bet that he'd want to leave all his fortune to her. So, did you meet the mistress, or what? She might even thrust some strange will in front of us. If we take it to court, we could probably claim a quarter of a half of it. Just immediately about the money, damn. But it'll probably be impossible to divvy out the inheritance until that's settled. We can't have that. Therefore, I can't, and neither can you, Rudolph. And the same goes for Rosa, right? Each one of us needs to gather money quickly for our own reasons. It's our biggest weak point. Weak point? So, what are they after? Kirie, can you guess? This is all news to me, but it sounds like we're starting from the premise that we've got an urgent need to collect money, right? Kirie-san, in a man's business, you sometimes need funding when you're on the offensive. Please understand that. Why is it, what's the man's business got to do with it, Hideyoshi? What's this, Rudolph? You didn't tell Kirie-san about it? Sorry, I wasn't really hiding it. Actually, it was kinda... Wait... Was that the same last time? Was Kirie, like, kicked out of the room before they did it? I thought she was there the whole time and listening. Is that different? Or did they have this conversation afterwards? Huh. Why are there scratch marks on my wall? Where the fuck did that come from? Okay, that's to worry about later. It's alright. If you decided this wasn't something you needed to tell me about, I won't press you about it right here. What's more important is finding out what this golden witch is after, right? Yeah. Now that you know what we know, can you see how the enemy might come at us? Can we get a diagram? Rudolph had a certain measure of trust in Kirie's unique thinking technique. Chessboard thinking. Of course, it didn't give him any more peace of mind than fortune-telling, but every time Rudolph was polishing up some important strategy, he'd give a great deal of thought to Kirie's advice. For a while, Kirie pressed her finger against her forehead, considering. Judging by the fact that her arrival was kept hidden until today, she must be planning to catch us by surprise in some way. We can't tell for sure whether she's after assets or being recognized as a relative. Meanwhile, downstairs, it's just all about proving to Battler that magic is real. However, her coming was kept secret until today, which probably means she didn't want us to take any measures against her, something we might have done if we'd known beforehand. So her goal is probably something that could be hindered as if we were to take measures against her. See, this is a pretty good way of viewing the world, but it also just assumes that the other person is also intelligent, and sometimes people are just fucking stupid. Shit just happens, you know what I mean? It's like that. It's like literary analysis is when you assume that everything in a work is intentional, on purpose or purposeful, has a point to it. Where sometimes it's just accidental. Just like me saying intentional was on purpose. So you would all laugh. Ha 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 ha. Please laugh. Okay, measures against her. Understand? I get it. So if she had a will that father had already written, or something that could prove that she's a blood relative, if she had some unshakable, rock-solid proof like that, you'd think she'd announced it beforehand. That's right. Alright, which one of you is going to suggest that you kill her in the shed? And then I know who the killer was last time. Let's go. On the contrary, since we're in a position to doubt her, she should have brought a lawyer or an expert, and thrust some completely undeniable proof before us. If she could. So the mere fact that she's launching a surprise attack shows that our foe can't win with a frontal assault, or she is the lawyer. Makes sense. If a trump card can win no matter what, it's best to play it out in the open. If you play it in a roundabout way, it might end up weakening its impact. Skipping to the conclusion, we can probably expect to be faced with some huge surprise, something related either directly or indirectly to the inheritance problem that's on everyone's minds. Our opponent probably plans to overawe us simply by the impact of the shock. However, no matter how great the impact might be, it cannot be absolute. In other words, we have enough leeway to take advantage of this. You've really got brains. Even understanding just this much is really reassuring. In other words, you're telling us not to get sucked into our opponent's pace. In the end, it's an extremely simple conclusion. No matter what our opponent brings up, we should deal with it calmly without rushing things. So we know nothing. This is just the very first step in the art of negotiation. You really can't say you've predicted your opponent's thoughts with just this. Come on. Just like the usual, that was pretty good. Now that we know we've got a little leeway to attack, it helps us relax a bit. What we don't know is how she's connected to Krasny-san. Will it be a surprise for Krasny-san too, or was he actually the one who called her here in the first place? If it's the latter, that might make things very troublesome. That's right. Secretly calling a mystery woman on the day of the family conference. It would be in terrible taste, but it does feel like something Nissan would do. Aniki, let's do this. As long as she can't clearly prove her identity, we won't accept her position in any way. That would be for the best. Already she's refused to introduce herself to Kyrie-san. We can't let our conference be disturbed by the statements of some unknown woman. She might even show us proof that she's a blood relative, or a blonde relative. If she can prove father's blood runs through her veins, like with a maternity record document, there's nothing we can do. I mean, why would that just like supersede all of your blood relatives though? Blood relations. It's always possible to suspect that physical evidence has been faked, and even if it's real, in order to prove that the person in the documents is the person we see, we need to check their condition at a hospital. At the very least, it'd be impossible to prove that now on Rakinjima. You're right. What about Nanjo? In other words, it's something like this. No matter what's shown to us now on Rakinjima, it can't be accepted as truth. Okay, we can't believe in anything until a typhoon passes and they prove it to us at the proper place. Giggle. Spotting all kinds of holes and stuff like this is Aneki's specialty. We'll be counting on you. Are you joking? You'll be helping too. We need the money. We need it quickly, and a large sum. Our fates are all tied together in this. As if we just stand by and let some suddenly appearing mystery woman destroy the inheritance we're after. In fact, if it gets really bad, we should take her to the shed, and Rudolph and Eva always formed a united front as siblings at times like this, sickened by the idea that their own inheritance might be snatched away by an outsider. Kyrie noticed how indomitable they looked, shook her head slightly, and gave a small sigh as she gazed out the window. Man, this is kind of fucked up. Poor Kinzo. Outside, it was still raining heavily, and everything was gray, having lost all vibrance. You know what? Maybe Kinzo deserves it. The lush garden that the sun had shone on earlier now felt like a lie. For some reason, the words Eva said... Yeah, you know what? That's a very interesting kind of thought. If you have, like, really wealthy parents, and they were also really shit parents... Would the inheritance just become like a supplement to like parental love at that point, and you'd be really hungry for it? Like, what would that be like? I have absolutely no context for that kind of situation. I wonder what you would feel like in that case. right? Because I'm sitting here going, wow, you guys are just really greedy, like, money-grubbing motherfuckers. But at the same time, it's like, maybe this is, like, their version of, like, my mom and dad love me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Huh. Anyway, the lush garden that the sun had shone on earlier now felt like a lie. For some reason, the words Eva said a second ago kept repeating in Kyrie's head. So in other words, it's something like this. No matter what's shown to us now on Rikkinjima, it can't be accepted as truth. If we flipped the chessboard, we'd have to read it backwards. There was an odd nuance to those words. At that moment, the island was closed off by the typhoon and isolated. It was its own world. They had access to no public institutions and no hospital. So on this island, no matter what manner of proof related to the outside world was shown, it would always be possible to call it a lie. It would be impossible to prove that something was the truth. Now that they were isolated from the outside, all truths whose proof lay in the outside world would be called lies. So does that mean that right now, on this Rikkinjima, not one of the other Rikkinjimas, no truth exists at all? Does it mean that everything will now be ruled by lies alone? It almost gives the illusion that we've left the human world of truth and have been shut away inside another world, one of lies. Okay, Kyrie, calm down. Kyrie remembered that woman's appearance one more time. She remembered both what she had looked like and the witch of the portrait. On this island, which has been cut off from the world of humans and shut away from the world of non-humans, a non-human being has come to visit. Kyrie couldn't think of a smile that had appeared on that woman's face as anything other than a portent of misfortune. I get the feeling my chessboard thinkings missed a vital premise. One that'll be necessary to understand that misfortune-bearing smile. Yes, that smile made me feel as though someone inhuman was mocking me. I've based my reasoning on the assumption that our opponent is a human like us. However, just like this island is now, she may be a being that isn't human, and human values may not matter to her. Kind of a quick conclusion there, Kyrie. When you go to sleep, can you talk to Beatrice too? If that's true, all of our reasoning is useless. For what reason has the witch been invited here today? Only one thing is certain. Now, in this instant, she's staying somewhere in this vast mansion. Okay, so it's the same portrait here, but is that just the art didn't get updated? Because I thought maybe it was a different portrait in this like storyline or timeline or world line or whatever. Maria. Around lunchtime today, we met her outside, right? A woman. Who was she? Ooh. I said it over and over. Beatrice. Maria, did you ever meet Beatrice before that? Ooh. I've met her every year. Every year? In this mansion on Rikkinjima? Ooh. I don't know what ooh means. Is that true? Yes. How long have you been meeting her? How many years ago did it start? Ooh, I don't know. You don't know? What do you mean? Was it last year? 2 years ago? Longer than that. Ooh. Rosa was astonished. Only the Ushiromiya family mansion existed on this island, so there couldn't have been any humans other than themselves here. And yet, Maria said she'd been meeting with the suspicious woman every year during the family conference. Yeah, Kinzo brings her here every year so the model can practice her acting as being Beatrice. He found her on Fiverr. If what Maria said was the truth, then that strange woman called Beatrice had been at the family conference every year. That's insane. If Maria's saying that eerie woman was at the family conference every year and none of us ever noticed it? Even though Rosa had just met the woman herself a couple of hours ago in the rose garden, she was overcome with a strange emotion that told her not to accept that existence. What in the world did I meet with earlier today in the rose garden as the typhoon grew near and the winds roared? Maria, you said you've met with her every year. What do you two do when you meet? Witch stuff. We sing songs and learn magic, and I learned how to draw magic circles. With your bag of red bullshit. Really? That's incredible. Maria, you often draw scribbles. I mean, magic circles in your notebook, right? Did she teach you that too? Ew. You know what? Beatrice drew examples to teach me. Come on, look. Maria joyfully fished around in her handbag. Then she drew out a single notebook and began opening to that page. Most of the pages were covered with drawings that were literally scribbles. All of them were occult-like things, and while it may sound rude to Maria, who was joyfully flipping through the pages, they were all creepy. No, that tracks. Look here. Beatrice drew it. Ooh. Yep. Each one of the pages in in the group Maria opened to had an eerie magic circle. Why would Beatrice teach you the charm that stops Beatrice? Huh. Furthermore, at a glance, Rosa could see that Maria hadn't drawn them. The strength of the strokes, the thickness of the lines, how clean the shape was, the subtle thickness of it, man. Let's see Beatrice's notebook. By itself, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't enough to guess the background of the person who had written it. But it was enough for Rosa to be sure that it was someone older than Maria. Rosa had to accept it now. There really was a person on this Rikkinjima. I was told that part of this means island. So is this is basically like on this island? So this isn't necessarily just a name, or is it just like a translation thing where that she herself hadn't known existed until now? And this person had come to the family conference every year to play with Maria. Does the witch Beatrice live here, or does she live outside the island like us? Ooh, Beatrice is the witch of Rikkinjima, so she lives on this island. So you're saying she's on the island even on days when it isn't the family conference, right? Ooh. I don't know what ooh means. Yes or no? I mean, I know what ooh means. Yes. Ooh. What in the... I can't believe it. How long has this unknown witch been living on this island? I used to live on this island. I lived on this island, passing the time in the mansion, in the rose garden. And even so, I never encountered a witch like that. Right? Okay, let's go tell, the rest of the murdered pals. Mama, what's wrong? Mama. My head hurts. I was probably getting a little mixed up with my memories from when I was a young girl. Wait. When I was young, I was terrified of the witch, unlike Maria, so for me, the name Beatrice was a synonym for terror. Surely, my fear from those days has been revived by the appearance of a woman going by that name. She can't be a witch. She's obviously a human calling herself Beatrice, right? And then Battler in his sleep. Right. That's right. That witch entrusted me with an envelope. What in the world could that be? Rosa pulled that western envelope out of her pocket. It was one of the envelopes that bore the Ushiromiya family crest, which Kinzo used for his personal letters. And this red sealing wax had even been sealed by the head's ring which Kinzo held, which meant this envelope belonged to the Ushiromiya family head. In other words, it was from father. Why was a woman calling herself Beatrice holding it, and why did she give it to me? That's right. I'm sure she said to read this aloud at dinner. What in the world could be written inside? A sense of uncertainty gripped Rosa, as if opening this envelope might let loose incredible misfortune. However, at the same time, a little curiosity sprouted up too, urging her to find out what was written inside before the other siblings could. Using common sense, one might guess that it contained a huge decision somehow related to father's inheritance. Actually, since she'd received it from a woman who called herself Beatrice, there simply had to be some connection. Does it mean this person wants not just the 4, but a total of 5 people to be included in the inheritance? I need a large sum of money, and I can't wait long. Are you just going to open it, and it's going to say, I knew you'd open this early, Maria's is the real envelope, open it at dinner, please? I feel like such a sinful daughter for discussing father's inheritance while he's still alive, but this is no time to spout off cheap ideals. And I've even colluded with Rudolf-Nissan and Ivan-Nissan in order to get some money out of Kraus-Nissan. Coming from that position, I can't help but see the appearance of the witch as a sign of approaching misfortune. What could be written in here? I'm sure it's something frightening. Shall I read it secretly myself first? The witch requested that it be read at the dinner table with everyone gathered, but if that's what she wanted, why couldn't she just read it aloud herself at dinner? Why did she go to all the trouble of entrusting it to me? Simply put, is it because she doesn't mind if I read it secretly beforehand? It'd be better to secretly read the contents first. I understand that mean breaking my promise, but this is no longer the time for cheap ideals. Don't do it! Depending on the contents, I should probably discuss it with Ivan-Nissan and Rudolf-Nissan too. They're always really good thinkers when it comes to this kind of thing. When I gulped and put my hand to the red sealing wax, something suddenly pulled on my sleeve and I let out a small scream. What? Maria? Don't scare me like that. What is it? Ooh, you mustn't. Huh? In Maria's expression was the same portent of misfortune she'd felt from that witch, and it sent a tingle up her spine. Beatrice told Mama to read that letter during dinner. You mustn't break a promise with a witch. That's not it. I just wanted to look at the envelope for a second. Okay, what I don't understand, but not in like a plot hole way, because this isn't Persona 3. What I don't understand right now about this dynamic is that she acts like a witch, she likes witches, she's friends with a witch, and yet when she goes like, you know, sicko mode, she says, "You're a witch, real mama, come back." That's kind of weird. Just everything is witches to her in her head, maybe? I don't know. Huh. Oh no. I wonder if there's a reason for that, or if it's something you're supposed to kind of think about yourself and be like, why would she do that? I'll keep my promise. After all, I always tell you to keep your promises. Of course I keep my promises. Yes. Mama's a good girl. Hee 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 hee. Alright, calm down. That laugh. It isn't cute, so stop it. Ooh. Come to think of it, you received a letter too, Maria. What was written inside? I haven't opened it. Beatrice said I mustn't open it until the time to open it comes. So I'm taking good care of it. Ooh. I see. You listen well to what Beatrice says, don't you, Maria? Why don't you listen to me? Ooh. I'm Beatrice's disciple, so I listen well to what my teacher says. I see. Rosa realized something. Mixed in with Maria's gaze was the glint of someone that wasn't her. If Rosa broke the rules and opened the envelope here, Beatrice would definitely learn of it, because Maria was the witch's disciple. Maria was in contact with that witch. Man, that's gotta really sting, Rosa. Oh, man. I'll keep my promise, so tell Beatrice not to worry, okay? Ooh, I'll tell her. Hey Maria, if I want to speak to Beatrice, how could I meet her? I don't know. Beatrice is very fickle, so she always appears suddenly. I don't know a way to get her to meet me. But you know, she's always watching me, so if I get in trouble, she'll definitely come and save me afterwards. She's definitely erased her form and is hiding close to me. Hee 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 hee. Don't I always tell you to stop laughing like that? Oh, she does it at home too? Rosa reflexively hit Maria on the head. That put a stop to Maria's laughing, but it wasn't able to erase the color that had risen to those eyes, a color that seemed to bear a portent of misfortune again. Rosa swore. She swore that, at least until they left this island, she would not leave Maria alone. She couldn't allow an unknown being to make direct contact with her daughter any longer. Smash? No? No smash? Okay, time skip. Interesting. 6 o'clock. Beep, beep, beep. What was that? That was the heat pump that's in the room. Even though it's winter, it gets really hot up here, so I had the air on, but I'm just turning on the fan because it's getting a little chilly in here. I would just open the window, however, I don't want like the street to hear me reading Umineko, if that's okay. Wait, so is the heat heated by something else than the heat pump? There's two. We have two heat pumps, one on the first floor, one on the second floor, and when it gets really, really cold in the winter, we bust out a space heater and put that in the kitchen. So yeah. And that's enough. There are also radiators, electric radiators in the house, but they don't need to be used anymore. The game music is a bit loud. Could you lower it, please, Joe? Is that true? Does anyone else want me to lower the music? No? Seems like you're the only one. Sorry. Sorry, one guy. Either that or up the mic a bit. Does anyone want me to up the mic a bit or no? Still no? Still no? We're good? Okay. Alright. Maria still hasn't come back. I wonder if she's getting scolded by Aunt Rosa again. Ever since they'd met Maria at the airport, she'd been romping around chatting about Halloween the whole time. But maybe she'd cut loose a little too much, acting a little too boisterous on the plane, on the boat, and during lunch, because Rosa had cautioned her several times. I remember those scenes. At times like that, Aunt Rosa tended not to scold her much in front of people. More often, she would take Maria aside and scold her alone, so since Maria had been called off somewhere, they figured she must be getting scolded. When they looked at the clock, they realized it was almost 6. Of course, they couldn't imagine she'd been getting scolded all this time. Maybe it was time for some anime she watched every week to start. She probably hadn't left the mansion's parlor. Pokemon. Maybe Battler-sama woke up and they've been playing together. After all, Maria-chan thinks of Battler-kun as a new friend. She must have had a lot of fun when she played Halloween with Battler-kun at the airport. What is this in the background? Battler looked like he was having a lot of fun himself. Maybe he's gotten big, but he hasn't changed a bit. That's true. I get the feeling Battler-sama was gracious enough to remain as he was 6 years ago. Shannon, do you remember what he was like then? Yes, because he was, well, very energetic. Giggle. Uh-oh. I also remember the four of us playing together 6 years ago. Shannon acted a lot like a big sister back then. That's right. I get the feeling she was even more dependable than she is now. Back then, I didn't truly understand my place, so I did quite a few rude things. Don't worry about understanding your place in that sense. In that sense? When you're on the job is one thing, but when you're taking your break and with us like now, I'd rather you stay and be friendly, just like the old days. That's right. There's nothing wrong with acting differently depending on whether you're the servant Shannon or off-duty Sayo. You aren't a slave, you're just working as a servant, right? I think of you, Shannon. No, Sayo, as my oldest friend. Thank you very much, milady. Now bring us tea, friend. It seemed that Shannon understood the hidden meaning behind Jessica's words. After all, she'd heard a bit about Jessica and Cannon's history from both of them. Apparently George had heard something of that history too. He walked towards the window and looked up at the darkening rainy sky. Cannon may still be childish in some ways, but I think he's starting to grow a bit in his way of thinking. Well, come on, quit it already. Well, I guess I let myself get swept away by the mood once or twice. You know, after watching you two, I might have gotten a bit jealous, feeling like I was getting left behind. But forget about me. More importantly, how's it going between you two? Let's talk about George. Looks like it's going pretty good, huh? I wonder. Yes, it's going very well. Shannon was lost for words, her face red, while George answered brightly and immediately. That carefree attitude made it easy to see that their relationship was proceeding so perfectly it'd make anyone envious. Dang, I'm jealous. So does that mean Shannon's gonna resign and have a party soon? I wonder. Oh, there's a good question. I wonder what she'll say. Okay, dude, like, what is this? You seem to really care about her, but aren't you meant to be like smart and dependable? You have to know that this is gonna be drama. And as you know, the Black Eyed Peas say, you don't want no drama. Like, do you really? Like, what's the plan, George? George laughed teasingly as though pressing Shannon for an answer. It was probably the way they usually flirted when they were alone. Jessica could only smile bitterly and say, yes, thank you, that's enough. I have a dream. I don't just mean some ambition to become the leader of my own domain in business. I also dream of building a happy family together with a partner I can spend my life with. I want 2 kids at the very least. Call the baby merchant. It'd be nice to be able to do some sports as a whole family. And many more things besides that. I often talk with Shannon about that kind of thing. Right, Shannon? Yeah, a couple times. Though every time I do, she always laughs and says I'm getting ahead of myself. For some reason, even at the age I am now, I find myself thinking about what it'd be like to live peacefully in my old age, with healthy grown-up kids and grandchildren running around all over the place. If only I could spend the rest of my life at a slow pace surrounded by that, together with Shannon forever. Yeah, you're definitely getting ahead of yourself. But how should I say it? It sounds like you, Georgie-san. Being surrounded by a family like that would probably be so wonderful. The ideal family I've painted in my mind is something like that. Because George just keeps fucking talking about it. To Shannon, who'd been raised in an orphanage, that harmonious image of a family was probably something to be yearned for. And George, who had made an absolute promise to grant that wish for her, may truly have been a fitting person for her to spend her life with. To Jessica, Shannon was a precious friend. George was surely the one most fit to entrust that friend's future to. Well, I don't want to throw cold water on you guys, but Uncle Hideyoshi aside, what are you going to do about any of... Thank you! Thank you! Thank you. Okay. Won't it be pretty tough to win her over? Flashback to what Eva said. There's no reason for anyone to worry about something like that. No one but me gets to say who I choose to be my partner. Oh, you're dumb! Oh, okay. Alright, my bad. I've misjudged George. I thought maybe he was a little scummy and like had some problems with like his parents and everything, but I didn't realize he was dumb. Okay, he's dumb. Alright, cool, okay. Okay, I will bring Shannon happiness. Whose permission do I need for that? Ava's? Whoa. Georgie-san, that was cool. Can't believe you can say stuff that embarrassing out loud. I don't remember you ever being that kind of character in the past. As they say, if you don't see a boy for 3 days, you should watch him closely. I grow as much as anyone. I intend to study more and more and grow to be the man Shannon deserves, the one who can bring her happiness. Maybe even George realized how embarrassing the words coming out of his mouth were. Okay, he does seem to genuinely like her now. Then, okay. Okay. His face turned very slightly red and he scratched his head. George-san. It's okay. Daijobu? I'm sure mother will be difficult, but you can leave that to me. Okay, so you do know, but you're trying to reassure her. Okay, so not dumb. Alright, I misread it. Okay, alright, there we go. Okay. He understands it's going to be a problem. It's not like, he's not like stating fact, he's instead like proclaiming war for her. Okay. I'll make all the relatives accept you as my partner. But you'll still have to serve us tea. Awesome. I'm jealous of you, Shannon, seriously. I'm very grateful that you're willing to go so far. Couldn't think of it. I'm starting to feel like a third wheel here. Maybe I'd better leave, huh? Poor Shannon. As Jessica rose with a forced smile from the bed she'd been sitting on, the phone rang. Before Jessica picked up the receiver, wondering what this could be about, Shannon looked at the clock and jumped. Apparently, she'd spent too much time on her break. I'm sorry. I forgot it was time for work. Then, if you will excuse me... At the same time Jessica picked up the phone, Shannon began dashing out of the room. Shannon. Again, the usual time at the usual place. Yes. Excuse me. Hello, Jessica? Genji-san. Yeah, Shannon's going back to you guys now. We held her up, so please don't scold her. Yeah, yes. I see. So it's almost time for them to get ready for dinner. Oh, that was a scene. Okay. Many plates were lined up on the counter in the kitchen. I wanted to say sink, even though there was a sink there. Preparations for dinner were proceeding steadily. The number of plates lined up there was 19. That was one more than should have been set up for the annual family conference. Another calf steak? I can't accept it. You told me 18 calf steaks. You think I'm just going to be able to make a calf steak out of nowhere? I've had to, like, strategically cut pieces out of all the other 18 calf steaks to assemble this, like, this rogue, mushy 19th calf steak. The proportions are all off, the macros are gone. I can't believe this, Genji. I can't accept. Why can't I deliver it directly? Goda-san flared up at Genji, paying no heed to the pot that was spitting steam. The master enjoyed eating alone in his study, so his food needed to be served in that room. However, that was something that always happened. Of course Goda-san would want to set the table for the master with his own hands, since he put his heart and soul into his cooking. But the master had imposed a strict rule that none but the servants bearing the golden eagle crest enter his study. So while Goda-san would be able to greet the master from outside the study, not once had he been granted the honor of carrying his cooking inside. Goda-san was always irritated by this. Of course, he was a newcomer in terms of years of service. However, he had piled up plenty of experience from his previous jobs, and he was quite confident that he'd be able to perform in front of Kinzo in a manner that would do him no disservice. And yet, simply because he was not permitted to wear the golden eagle, he still hadn't been blessed with this honor. Dude, who cares? Can you imagine what damage that would do to his pride? You might think tonight was a repeat of that, but it wasn't. Because tonight, there was a person other than the master who wanted their food to be carried in the room. Does she have one? She has one. That's kind of weird, actually. That makes me think that she's from the orphanage. But I already did think that. Does she have one, or she keeps leaving and coming back? Maybe she doesn't have one. Yeah, she doesn't. Okay. There was a person other than the master who wanted the fruit carried to their room. Apparently this person is an extremely rare and honored guest, and we've been given strict orders to treat them in the same manner as the master of the family head. Goda-san must have wanted to earn some points by serving this honored guest with his own hands. After all, he was an extremely vain person. Thank you. If he wasn't qualified to serve the master, then at least the guests of the same rank. He simply couldn't find time during lunch, so Canon-san had gone in his place. So he truly desired to personally serve this person tonight. Yeah, it does make sense. Okay, sorry. The best dinner of the year, calf steak. But Genji-san had put a stop to that. Something about how Goda-san didn't wear the golden eagle. After being told once more that he wasn't qualified, Goda-san lost his patience. This is bullshit! So heartrending, Goda-san. I cannot do anything more than watch like this from the shadows. Kumasawa-san, if you have enough free time to dawdle around, please get the dining hall ready. Is the tablecloth set? Oh, my apologies. When it became her turn to bear his wrath, Kumasawa slid out into the hall. Beatrice-sama is of exactly the same rank as the master. All rules regarding her to be respected just as much as those involving the master. Goda-san, please devote your attention entirely towards your own task and serve all the relatives. I wouldn't mind if it was you, Genji-san, but is it really okay to let a child like this serve such a guest? If she made some blunder, it would be quite embarrassing. I know they've served here a long time, but it doesn't mean they've been trained in the proper areas. If you'll allow me to speak freely, they are completely lacking in the fundamentals that might qualify them to interact with such a guest. Oh, I'm here and hearing this. Oh shit. Goda spoke bluntly, even though Shannon was standing right there in the kitchen. Shannon was the one whom Genji had ordered to carry dinner into Beatrice's room. By the ranking system among the servants permitted to wear the Golden Eagle, Shannon certainly was the second highest in rank. If the highest ranked Genji went to set the table in Kinzo's room, then it fell to Shannon to set the table in Beatrice's room. Goda's pride was always horribly injured by this ranking system. At times like this, he'd speak out bluntly and rudely against Shannon and Cannon. Goda kept raising examples of each of Shannon's failures until now, making a ruckus about how she couldn't do this or was terrible at that. Shannon, who listened to this with her head hung in shame, heard Cannon's voice from behind her. Cannon had been leaning against the wall in the hallway near the kitchen entrance, a blind spot from the inside, and had been listening to all of this. He probably knew that if he entered the kitchen, sparks would start to fly his way. I've got to say it. The man's scum. He's going to do it, but we could all learn a lot about the fundamentals of entertaining guests from him. Goda-san has learned so much, so he'd be a great reference. Great reference, Nisan, you sure are nice. More importantly, is the guest in the VIP room really Beatrice-sama, as they say? Is he really scum? Like, he seems to take his job seriously, and he feels like he's getting snubbed all the time, even though he's doing his job. I don't know if I would call him scum from what I've seen. I get bad vibes from Goda, don't get me wrong. So if I have to choose right now, I would side with Cannon. But like, I don't know. I don't think we've seen enough to call him scum. Yes, I met her when I was sent to serve her lunch. There can be no doubt it's her. Really? Was she doing well? Well, her boots are clean, let me tell you that. Cannon remembered that he and Shannon had different impressions of Beatrice. To Shannon, Beatrice was a cupid of love who had granted her magic to establish a relationship with George. Judging by the expression that rose to her face, it looked like she couldn't wait to inform Beatrice of how her relationship with George had progressed. However, Cannon already knew. That witch came here with a terrifying goal in mind. The nebulous witch that only they'd been able to see in the past had now revived so fully that she could walk in openly through the front door, and even have dinner carried to her. Once, when she'd vanished from in front of Cannon, the witch said something about how her own power was still weak. So if that witch was now appearing so openly, did it mean she'd finally regained her former power? And she said something else too. She definitely said that she'd sown the seeds of love while fully aware that they would fail. And she said even more. Let's hear it. She definitely said that the day had finally come upon which the door to the Golden Land would be opened. And you know what? She said a fourth thing too. She also said, Shannon, she's planning to hold some bizarre ceremony with the master, and you can bet it'll be something too horrible to imagine. And no one will be able to resist. What are you talking about? She came here as the master requested, so that the door to the Golden Land would open, and so that everything would be returned to the Golden Land. She definitely said that to me. What is this face? In the past, the two of them, as furniture working for Kinzo, had been told what the opening of the door to the Golden Land meant. So Shannon understood everything without having to ask a single question, and because of that, she felt a deep despair. Something tore at Cannon's heart as he looked at that expression twisted with grief. How could... Why now? Didn't I tell you? We are furniture. Because you acted like a human, because of love, you're incapable of obediently accepting the day our service comes to an end. Once, I wished this day would come, but it never came, year after year. I didn't know how long we've been forced to endure suffering as furniture. So I thought that day of rest would come for all eternity. I thought the same thing, but I believed it would definitely come someday. So I never forgot that I'm furniture. Idiot. But Nissan, you did forget. Remember, it's my fault, isn't it? It was I who... Yeah, it's your fault, Nissan. If only you hadn't experienced love, we'd both be happy that this day had finally come. You built up too many pointless regrets. Even though you knew you'd have to leave this world someday. What is this Elden Ring music? What is this? 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 What is Will the ceremony begin tonight? Yes. And she said one more thing. Tonight, George-sama will probably give you an engagement ring, Nissan. That was a fact. George supposedly had an engagement ring hidden in his pocket today, and surely he would hand it over tonight. She brought you two together, planning to use you as the sacrifices of the second twilight. Get it? She tempted you and took advantage of you. I see. I never thought of that. But she told me, she promised that if you don't accept the engagement ring tonight, you won't be chosen as a sacrifice, Nissan. Huh. I think our chances of being able to go to the Golden Land together are very slim. There will be 13 sacrifices. Only 5 will be left alive. But everyone's meant to revive at the end. The chances of us being part of that group are tiny. But if you just accept her offer, those chances will rise. I want to take that bet. Our salvation is in the Golden Land. We're going to reach that place and gain humanity. And then, I want to live life as a human, together with you, Nissan. If we do that, we might be able to find true love. In the past, we used to dream about being able to go to the Golden Land. If we go there, any wish will be granted. We'll be saved from this pain. That's what is the orphanage just like a cult? Kinzo's cult? Everyone's just indoctrinated into believing in the witch, and he just like pulls them here whenever he needs them. Like what is this? What is this dynamic, man? That's what we believed. However, in this ceremony, only a few people would be invited to the Golden Land, chosen by fate and chance. Everyone else would lose their life as a sacrifice midway through the ceremony. However, in the past, Shannon and Ken had thought that whether they reached the Golden Land or were sacrificed, they would still be released from their duties as furniture. That meant this ceremony would definitely bring release to furniture like them, no matter what happened. I don't like it. Together with you, I want to make up for all the suffering we've endured. I won't become a sacrifice. Okay, I'm a little unsure of the read on this conversation, because that almost felt like a proclamation of love between the two of them right here, and I don't know if it's like we'll find like platonic love, we'll be capable of love, we'll find out what that is, or like I don't know. I don't know what he just said to her really. Nissan and I will remain alive, and we'll reach the Golden Land together. So, I won't let you become the sacrifice of the second twilight. Please, Nissan, don't accept that man's ring. If you don't accept it, she promised not to select you as a sacrifice. I cannot do that. Tonight's ring is very special. My heart won't let me refuse it. Nissan, it's George. The sacrifices in the ceremony are decided on the witch's whims, and that witch has promised to overlook just you, Nissan. You alone will definitely be able to go to the Golden Land. Only me? What about you, Kennen-kun? The witch's game is enough for me. I'll slip through her clutches. I am not powerless. I'll tightly grasp that faint chance. After all, our lives are transient, aren't they? In order to begin our real lives, let's drag ourselves to the Golden Land. Then, we will gain humanity. And when we've done that, maybe I'll be able to experience romance just like you, Nissan. Maybe I won't have to make someone cry just because I'm furniture. Kennen-kun, I've had enough of being furniture. I'll definitely become human. I'll escape this pain, no matter what. Okay, my read on this now is that he doesn't have any romantic feelings for Shannon. It's like a general like experience love with someone, not Shannon specifically. Okay, that's my read on it now. That might be wrong, but that's my read on it right now. There were tears in Cannon's eyes. By now, Cannon had noticed. Shannon had been the only one to know and suffer from the taste of love. He had too. The tears Jessica had shown him that day, and Jessica's pitiful face, as she tried to smooth things over and stay bright ever since then, had slowly wrought some kind of change on Cannon's heart without him knowing it. Shannon. Thank you for the bits, Lazy Potato. Hi, Joe. Usually a VOD viewer, but I'm trying to catch the Umineko streams live. Just want to say, I love how you refer to Kumasama as Kumasama-san accidentally. Welcome to the weeb side. I mean, she's always referred to like that anyway. Yeah. Furniture become human. Very nice chat. Very nice. Shannon, I've been calling to you for some time now. Shannon jumped at the sudden sound of Genji's voice. Apparently, he had called for her repeatedly. She hardly answered. Feeling a little bit tired already, chat? I'm doing my best. I'll perk up a little bit on break, I think. When she turned back, Kennen had disappeared. It seemed he didn't feel like showing his tears to anybody. Yes, I'm sorry for being careless. I entrusted Cannon with lunch, but it should have been you, as the next in rank after me, who carried it. Beatrice-sama is the most honored guest of this house. There is no more honored guest than her. Please think of her as another master and be polite. Please take extra care that you make no blunders, understand? It is quite painful for me to entrust this to someone as inexperienced as yourself, but there's nothing we can do about the house's rules. Carry out your duties with the utmost of care. Goda had officially agreed, but he glared at Shannon with an expression that told her he definitely wouldn't forgive any mistakes. Okay, you're kind of a dick blaming her for this instead of blaming the rules. Alright, you know what? Goda stock's plummeting. Even Shannon felt that Goda might as well go himself if he was so desperate to go. But she considered this one of her responsibilities as one who had been allowed to wear the golden eagle and had to give up. And anyway, I wanted to meet Beatrice. What will I talk about? What will I ask? I don't know. Will this be a meeting of gratitude or one of grief? Or else what? I don't know. Shannon piled the witch's food onto the serving cart and left the kitchen at a slow pace. Okay, just thoughts? Internal thoughts? Switching over? The person knocking was Kraus. Father, today is our annual family conference. Haven't the siblings gathered here just to get a glimpse of you? Be silent. I say I won't leave. You're there too, aren't you, Genji? Why haven't you had my food brought here as I ordered you to? Kinzo screamed across the door. Genji was waiting behind Kraus. This is the wrong door. Your meal has been prepared so that it might be carried to the study. However, Kraus-sama has expressed his wish that you eat downstairs tonight. Father, I'm not asking you to do this every day. Just for I'm upset that I noticed that it's the wrong door. I'm asking you to do this every day, just for this one night. Won't you gather together with your family? Who are you calling family? Since when have you considered vultures circling in wait for roadkill to be family? Would you call rotting, oozing maggots family as well? Yes. My. Kraus shrugged at this answer, which he had half expected. Genji, carry the meal here as you were told. Why don't you listen to what I say? Why? Genji-san, I leave this in your capable hands. My voice will no longer reach that man. This seems almost exactly like the last scene that was in the other timeline. Kraus gave his head a small shake, then quickly turned his back on the door to the study. He had only come calling to save face in front of his siblings, knowing full well how useless this was. After Genji watched Kraus disappear down the stairs, he called again across the door. It's me, Genji. Master, we have finished preparations for your meal to be carried here. Shall we bring some for Dr. Nanjo as well? Nanjo standing there watching like Kinzo just go off on his son, being like, yeah, I could eat. Nanjo could be seen in the study. Because Kinzo had forcefully pestered him into finishing their long-lasting chess game, they had been playing against each other since the early evening. Nanjo had announced as a doctor that Kinzo's days were numbered, so he couldn't refuse if Kinzo demanded that they finish this game while he still lived. Kinzo was thinking deeply about his move, concentrating more than usual. It had been Kinzo's turn for quite some time, and Nanjo, who was tired of waiting, had randomly pulled out a book on magic that he couldn't understand and was skimming it. Kinzo-san, you won't think of a good move just by folding your arms and sitting in front of the board. Perhaps we had better take a break and refresh our minds. Be silent. That should be enough to solidify my defense. Will the bishop and the knight be able to penetrate that opening? Yes, this is what playing chess is like. Today, Kinzo was focused on maintaining a strong defense. Normally, Kinzo's motto was that offense was the best defense based. However, today was completely the opposite. I am also hungry. Shall we suspend the game here? Besides, I've used my head so much without a break that I'm already feeling dizzy. At this rate, I might not be able to perform at my best, and people are going to die later, and I'm going to have to inspect the corpses. Now, that won't do. In chess, both players must always make their best moves. Any other sort of move is merely a nuisance to consider, ruining a game whose focus is predicting your opponent's thoughts. So true. Such a thing considerably reduces our enjoyment. Kinzo sighed deeply and finally shifted his gaze away from the board. Chess isn't chess without an opponent. If that opponent is tired and wants to suspend the game, there's no getting around it. True, the goal of chess is for both players to make the best possible moves and aim for victory. It's an intellectual game where reading your opponent is key. But Kinzo-san, have you forgotten that there's another goal besides victory? Fun! To have fun! What? What other goal could there possibly be? To think that you of all people would forget something like that. Chess is a way to pass the time having fun with a friend. You've got me there. I believe I once said those exact words to you long ago. Yes, you've got me there. Kinzo, who almost always wore a frown, relaxed his face for once and laughed. Nanjo felt like he'd been reunited with a close friend that hadn't seen in ages, and then he leaned forward and said, "So can I get a plate?" That's how it is. Now that I managed to take the shot back at you, what do you say? Will you go down with me and have dinner? Why don't we discuss Kasparov's middle game along with some coffee? An appealing proposition, but I'm afraid I must decline. I can no longer leave this room. After all, the ceremony has already begun. Is that so? Well, my stomach is growling. I will go downstairs. Anytime you feel like it. Nanjo. Thank you. Oh, what could you be thanking me for? We didn't finish our match. However, it seems I've somehow achieved that second goal of chess, which I had forgotten. And it would appear that goal is no less important than achieving checkmate. This isn't like you. Why so sentimental? You said it yourself, did you not? My days in this world are numbered. Now go. And don't come to this room again. Let us continue this match in the Golden Land. That's fine with me, but we'll have to start over. Losing that rook was a serious blow. Well then, I will see you later. Yes, later. Maybe in the Golden Land, or in Purgatory. Already there, bud. Or possibly in the next world. Aww. Nanjo didn't say anything beyond that. And with a motion made smooth by familiarity, he pushed the button on the table that would release the auto-lock. Then, after looking at Kinzo's back one last time, he left the study. And I almost dropped my my drink. As he did, Genji's voice came from the hall. If you are ready, master, I will now carry in your dinner. It may be my final dinner. I must savor it. Please, prepare it, as you wish. And are your preparations complete as well, master? Here's the calf steak that I made, said Genji. Yes. You know what? Your cooking has gotten much better lately, Genji. Very, very, very big improvement, indeed. In the time leading up to this day, this room has been carefully wrapped in a multitude of barriers. Even if her roulette chooses me, I will definitely repel it. Ah, okay. So that's why you have all the defenses up. You're not trying to keep her up. You're trying to keep her out. You're trying to keep the death choice out. Okay. I will remain alive and will surely become one of those who reach the Golden Land. I shall repulse the visit of the Reapers trying to drag me off to the land of the dead. Why would you leave in the other timeline then? To pretend to be Beatrice, or? Huh. Excuse me. Thank you, Richard Miziak for the resub. Yo, 48 Hydro. I'm not 48, I'm 39. Oh, it's 48 months. Okay, thank you for the 48th month resub, Richard Miziak. Not sensitive about my age, by the way. Totally cool, totally cool. And thank you, GG this stream, also for the resub. Thanks. Excuse me. I have come to serve your meal. We're probably going to take a break at the end of the scene unless the scene is super long. Shannon entered the VIP room, bowing her head and pushing the serving cart. The young woman by the window, gazing out into the supposedly empty darkness, was definitely that witch. So it is Shannon this time. Shannon this time? How long it's been? Huh. Mouse says break time. Oh, is this this is a long scene? Okay. Well, you know what? Best girl's on the screen. That's good. Alright, right back. 5 minutes. Actually, it might be slightly longer than 5 minutes. Right back. Go get a drink, walk around. Brush your teeth. Alright, hey chat, sorry about that. Let's continue. Greg's stream was more unhinged than yours, Lameo. He drank every time he died in Last of Us, and he died a lot. Oh no, what was he drinking? Girlfriend fell asleep while we were watching Germa's Oblivion streams. I switched to cracking the cryptic, and halfway through she woke up and thought Simon was an NPC reading Germa riddles. Soju, he finished a whole 750ml bottle. Greg died? Thank you for the bits, Top Virtuosity. Apology for bad English. It is my first language. Where were you when Jads banned incest? I was at house eating Dorito. When phone ring, incest den is kill. No, yeah, that's true. We did ban that. Yep, we did. Yep, we did. It's true. Yep, it's absolutely true. I'm sorry that this is how some of you have to find out. It's true. It's true. Sorry, it was sake, not soju. Okay. Thank you to Yuri was taken for gifting a novelty subs. What remains of Edith Witch? Am I right? Haha, lol, am I? Okay. Thank you, Yuri was taken. High commitment to the bit. Thank you, Toxel, for subscribing as well. Good to see you again, Toxel. Hope you're well. What was the favorite, by the way? I didn't see anyone in chat. I'm gonna eat a cookie, chat. I'm sorry. What was what one? My guess is gonna be the cinema one versus Dancing Fry. Can we make this scroll properly? What do you mean? Like you want it to match up together with the timing? I don't know how to do that. Vixit is the one that made it. If Vixit wants to give another pass, I would pay for his time, sure, if we want to make it scroll like together, but I don't know how that would work. What's your favorite type of cookie? A gluten-free cookie, so it doesn't ruin my insides. How's the song? It's pretty good. Do you like hobnobs? I don't really know what a hobnob is, sorry. Thoughts on playing Divinity Original Sin 2? Non-existent. But Baldur's Gate 3 is like the same thing, isn't it? Thank you, Kozan K, for the resub as well. I love this song so much, chat. It's another Chrono Trigger inspired song. Alright, let's continue reading. So it is Shannon this time. How long it's been? Oh. Your face isn't nearly as pale as it was. Does this mean Shannon this time, like this time through the timeline, or this time because last time it was canon? I think it's last time it was canon, right? Like earlier in the day. Yeah, I can see you're no canon. There you go. I hardly recognize you. Thank you very much. Shannon solemnly prepared dinner. There were actually several things she wanted to ask the witch, but they were all jumbled up and she didn't know where to start. Her heart was also jumbled up, and she didn't even understand her own emotions, so she could only do her job dispassionately with everything still vague. However, the witch saw what was in her heart. You can't hide anything from a witch. I won't apologize. I am a witch after all. Apologize for what? Come now. Canon must have told you about it. I only rescued your love life because of my mischievous spirit. It was nothing more than a seed I sowed so I could watch your love grow complicated, become twisted, and fail. I imagine some people think it's more fun to hear about love than to have it. Ooh, you couldn't possibly be trying to thank me, right? I am. No matter what kind of ulterior motive you had when you gave me the magic of love, it doesn't change the fact that I received it from you. So even if you sowed that seed knowing that the two of us wouldn't be able to stay together for life, I won't hold a grudge against you, because it's George and he's just so wonderful. Can't believe he's still single. It seems furniture is dull after all. Cackle, cackle, cackle. This is where I show my skill by cooking it into something interesting. I don't understand what you're thinking, Beatrice-sama. You are a great witch, and people like us don't even reach your feet, nor can we even imagine your grand thoughts. But there is at least one thing I can say. What is it? Thank you for teaching me to be human. You said it yourself. I am no longer furniture. Chat, can you remind me real quick? Okay, I'm gonna ask a very specific question because I don't want to be accidentally spoiled. Okay, I'm asking. Okay, listen to the wording of this question, please. Okay, I'm asking a very specific question. Was there a scene that we saw in which Beatrice said to Canon, if Shannon rejects George's proposal, she will be spared in the ceremony? And I just don't remember, because I don't remember that happening. Don't think so? Okay, alright. So, it's possible Canon could be lying. It's possible it happened off screen. What, anything like that? Okay, alright. Okay, I'm no longer furniture. Be silent, furniture. If you were a true human, hearing the announcement of your death on the day that you were to receive an engagement ring should have you dancing around, mad with grief. But what are you doing? Oh, she's a little off-kilter here, but what are you doing? Your face looks so enlightened, as though you've accepted everything. Truly an anti-climax, furniture. No, I am not furniture. Be silent, furniture. Ooh, I won't be silent, because I'm not furniture. Are you saying you won't obey my orders? Furniture obeys orders, but a human decides for herself whether to obey orders or not. So I won't obey your orders. I mean, you could still decide to do it. Humph. Cackle, cackle, cackle. I take back what I said. You really are interesting. If I hadn't sowed those seeds, you probably wouldn't have allowed the ceremony to control your fate without clinging to any emotions. But now you've grown to become something truly interesting, something that will entertain me to no end. I wonder if she would have had the same reaction if Canon had stood up to her. She seems to like it when characters like show backbone, or is it just Battler and Shannon? That as well, for I am not fond of boredom. Cackle, cackle, cackle. She loves brats. Who doesn't? Dinner is ready. Here you go. Doesn't this look delicious? If Goda makes it to the Golden Land, perhaps I should commission him as my chief cook. I heard from Canon-kun something about how if I rejected George-san's proposal, you promised not to make me a sacrifice. Indeed, I said as much. Okay, so either she's going along with the lie, or it happened in the room here earlier after we cut away. Alright. We would make an ideal potential sacrifice for the second twilight, but because Canon cried and screamed, asking that I spare you, I graciously listened to his words, with the condition that you abandon your engagement, of course. Cackle, cackle. See how gracious I am? What a foolish offer, and what a foolish threat. So, you used that to thoroughly bully Canon-kun, did you? Where is this coming from? So you comprehend. Cackle, cackle, cackle. Apparently Shannon had seen through it. She had apparently guessed at how the witch had bullied and humiliated Canon with that horrible promise as bait. I made him crawl on the carpet and kiss my shoes. And that's not all. Do you want to hear the other ways in which I humiliated him? Shannon silently shook her head. I finally come to understand you. You like to bully, confuse, and trouble people, and you do it to entertain yourself. So now I know for sure the one single way I can resist you. And what might that be? I don't care about you. I'll carry out the fate that has been given to me, that's all. I won't entertain you. Oh, but you are. I don't care about you. Ooh, Maria? The witch's features twisted in hatred for just an instant. It disappeared immediately, but the expression that briefly rose to her face was rare for the witch, whose malicious smile usually never faded for a second. Because if we don't care, you don't exist? Cackle, cackle. I see, so you might resist me in that way. How amusing. How truly entertaining. I'll kill you. You and your lover both. If that's the fate you decide upon, do as you will. I won't be afraid, and I won't stand against you. After all, I don't believe the cruel fate that's coming is something controlled by your will. We humans know nothing about fates that might come to pass in the future. That's why I'll live to the fullest until the last instant, following my convictions and the fate set before me. Fate is just a roll of the dice. There's no malice in it. Even if you claim there is, I won't believe it. Oh. So even though you've quit moving furniture, you have no fear of death. It seems you believe this will bore me, but you couldn't be more wrong. The thought of seeing whether you can hold on to that view until the last moment merely serves to intrigue me more and more. Cackle, cackle, cackle. I can't stand this. Why did you take the form of a human, appear in front of us, speak with human words, and ridicule us? If you hadn't appeared in front of us, if you hadn't predicted the future, we would have been able to live life to the fullest until the last moment. That's what witches do. We fuck around. I live off your fates, reigning as a high-order being. Okay. As a high-order being does over low-order beings. Okay, I got there. Alright, sorry. Your fates are nothing more than fragments. If I cut my hands together, I could scoop out as many of those as I want. Just like how, no matter what the beef cows I raise might babble, it doesn't change the fact that I'll be having them for dinner. Cackle, cackle. We are powerless, so we cannot fight against your ceremony or fate. But I can make you unhappy right now. Oh, I'm gonna eat your calf steak. Here I go. And how are you planning to accomplish this? I didn't bring you a knife. Ha ha ha, got him. By walking away from this place right now, no matter how I respond to your words, I will only amuse you. Refusing to respond to your questions is my only method of resisting you. I'm going to Tartarus. I see. You might be able to take a shot at me, but you cannot defeat me, yes? I have the power to kill anyone for eternity. I cannot wait to see whether you can keep up that resistance in an endlessly repeating cycle of death and rebirth. Okay, so that's how she's contextualizing this. Yeah, I thought that earlier when she said it in the tea room. Yeah, so this is her power. She can, like... She can reset the board and go again. Don't you forget it, okay? You spoke... I wonder how far back she can reset the board. I wonder if anything that happens... No, the airport was different. So she can really reset the board. Huh. That's way far away from the island. Okay, that's interesting. Or... Was that just a projection that she was showing Battler? You spoke those words yourself. Cackle, cackle, cackle. Well then, if you'll excuse me, if you need anything, please call me. Shannon gave a reserved bow and faced away. With that gesture, maybe she really did take a shot back at the witch, just as Beatrice had said. Because when the witch called out again, she sounded a little more quick-tempered than she had before. All I know is, Goda's going to be really upset about this, Shannon. You are not giving this high-honored guest the respect she deserves. Canon thanked me, can't you? Can't you thank me for bringing you your day of rest? Furniture may be happy when their day of rest comes, but I am a human, so I have nothing to thank you for. Is that all you have to say? Ooh, you plan to accept George's ring, yes? Don't forget that if you do, I will abandon the promise I made with Canon, the promise that you would not be selected as a sacrifice. If you need anything else, I'll have someone else come, if you will excuse me. A flat-out interruption. Shannon still hadn't answered her, and the sound of the door closing came instead of an answer. Okay. Shannon's resistance probably struck far more deeply into the witch than Shannon herself thought, because an expression of hatred once again rose to Beatrice's face. She had made Canon submit even though he hadn't been ensnared until the end, whereas Shannon, who had been so easily ensnared before, refused to submit this time. Is Kumasawa like talking in the corner right now, explaining this all? Yeah, she's behind the curtain, I see. So this is the state of affairs. So this state of affairs is amusing after all. Cackle, 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 cackle. Perhaps I really am still young. This is why I haven't tired of life after 1,000 years. So all Battler has to do to win is just be like, yeah, I don't believe, and no, I'm not giving you a chance to explain. The fact that Battler wants to know the answer is in some way engagement, and Beatrice likes it. So it's like thumbs downing a YouTube video. It still counts for the algo. Yeah, okay, so that's what, you know, it's like a hateful comment. Okay, this was the most fabulous part of the family conference. Dinner. Calf steak. In the past, when Kinzo had been serious about the conference, he'd taken everyone's yearly gathering for dinner very seriously, because anything embarrassing that occurred during the dinner would cause the deepest shame for him as the host. He had given Natsui stern orders to avoid embarrassment at all costs. Because of that, she and Kraus eventually hired Goda, who had confidence in his cooking abilities. Thanks to that, they became able to serve wonderful dinners they could be confident in, but by that time, Kinzo had closed himself up in his study and never appeared for dinner. Maybe you could call that ironic. When the main dish for tonight, calf steak, was set out, Goda began to describe it proudly, further stimulating everyone's appetites. The sauce here is Bordelaise. Of course, the red wine base I used was excellent, even among those made in Bordeaux, but in addition, I prepared an original blend of this house, a blend of choice alcohol from around the world to further deepen the taste. This sauce is limited to this year. I sincerely hope you all enjoy your meal. Isn't that wonderful? However, isn't Bordelaise sauce common to French cooking? It almost seems like using alcohol from outside France with that is heresy. Kraus-sama, today is the annual family conference. As a dinner for those who normally live far away and who have traveled far from across the world to gather together, I realized it would be most fitting to have a sauce made from a blend of fine alcohols from all over the planet that have never met each other before. Oh, okay, that's a cool idea. So I had it specially prepared. Also different, right? Or we just didn't see this? Wonderful. A truly wonderful cook. That's what you are. Food and medicine work twice as well if you sell it right. So true. So true, Hideyoshi. It's already twice as delicious as normal food, and the advertising makes it twice as good as that. The taste keeps doubling and doubling. Wow, like the amount of people dead. Giggle. Come on, Nissan. That question of yours was obviously a plant. No doubt about it. He totally set Goda-san up to steal the show on that one. You think so? I thought there might be some people here who didn't notice that today's food was in the French style. After all, Eva just said that avoiding butter was a virtue, but that's the Spanish style. Well, I guess they do share a border, right? That's not what I meant. Will you please not take part of the conversation out of context and make stuff up? It's a very delicious sauce, Goda-san. You certainly are amazing. It is a great honor to receive your praise, and this is all thanks to Madame's habitual guidance. No, it was all Goda's idea. I only listened to the recipe and approved of it. It looked like the siblings quickly got into a loud argument about the sauce, but for the most part, dinner proceeded peacefully. However, a certain question they desperately wanted to ask burned inside each one of them. It was about that visitor, the 19th person, the Golden Witch. In actuality, Eva and Rudolph and the rest were very much on their guards during this meal. If the mystery guest was ever going to be introduced, this dinner table would be the most appropriate place to do it. However, no, why is my Windows loading? What are we doing, computer? We're good? We're still here? Okay. However, no place was set at the dinner table for the witch. The family conference would begin in earnest after the meal, and previous experiences told them that it might last until deep into the night. However, they couldn't imagine why such a person should be kept hidden until that late if they were going to be introduced in the end anyway. Uh-oh. Did it get kind of blurry there for a second? That's a good idea, chat. So even Rudolph and the rest were starting to feel a certain suspicion. Perhaps this guest was unknown even to Kraus. If this wasn't an assassin called by Kraus to give him an advantage in the inheritance problem, then maybe they should speak frankly to Kraus beforehand, creating a common front to resist anything disadvantageous to the 4 siblings. If she was Kinzo's assassin... So it seems like in this version, the parlor talk where they really had it out for Kraus didn't happen. Okay. She was Kinzo's assassin, or it happened maybe in a less extreme way that we only saw part of it from, maybe? If she was Kinzo's assassin whose purpose was to keep the inheritance from being handed over to the 4 siblings, the enmity between Kraus and the other siblings could only become a weak point that benefited the enemy. Well then, please enjoy at your leisure. When he finished explaining the reasoning behind the table setting and the cooking, Goto tried to leave the room, but Kyrie called him to a stop with a small voice. Yes, Kyrie-sama. What is it? Please excuse me. I was under the impression we had company today, but can we expect to be joined at the dinner table? She had planned on saying it nonchalantly, but unfortunately it reached the ears of Natsui, who was sitting in the next seat over. What's this? It seemed that Natsui had heard it, as even though the guests are here, why hasn't the host come to dinner? In other words, that Kyrie had asked whether Kinzo was going to join them for dinner. The family head is not his best, so he said he would take dinner in his study. I believe my husband explained that in the beginning. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. Okay, so this can just be cut completely. This is completely not necessary. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. Natsui's reaction instantly told Kyrie that this unknown visitor was also unknown to Kraus and his wife. Which meant, on the chessboard inside Kyrie's mind, she could hear the clattering of the pieces as they rearranged themselves. What do you mean we have company? Battler, Battler's awake! Battler, who'd been sitting next to Natsui, seemed to have heard Kyrie's words without misunderstanding them. Thinking it strange that someone else would be invited to today's family conference, he spoke up incredulously, and thanks to that, the uncomfortable feeling building in the siblings' chests suddenly exploded. Everyone looked at Goda at the same time. Judging by their reactions, it was clear that no one here had invited that mystery woman. For an instant, Goto was startled to find everyone's gazes gathered on him, but because of his naturally vain personality, this actually gave him a feeling of superiority. Therefore, he answered in an extremely calm and graceful manner. Hi. That is correct. Our guest wanted to eat alone in the VIP room and is being served there. That extremely graceful and reasonable response of Goda's made it obvious to everyone that a 19th person, a visitor, existed. Well, except the Battler. The VIP room, a guest. What? Who are you talking about? Natsui's words echoed the question that everyone who didn't know about the appearance of the Golden Witch was thinking. For a while... Okay, will Eva even take this opportunity to be like, Natsui, what kind of house are you running here that you don't even know that you have a guest? Like... For all Goto was disoriented, caught completely off guard by this sudden interrogation. This was a guest who had been treated with such deep respect. He hadn't imagined that Kraus and his wife might not even know about her. The guest is, Beatrice-sama. Beatrice! See? Beatrice came. Ooh. Maria had been telling the other cousins over and over again that she had met with Beatrice that day. The cousins had answered flippantly, but they hadn't believed, so their eyes grew wide. Sorry, I totally thought you were joking, Maria. So she really was there. By Beatrice, you mean that Beatrice with the gold? That's more Auburn. Ooh. I've been saying she exists the whole time. No one believes. Sorry, Maria-chan. That's not how we meant it. After learning that everyone had doubted Beatrice's existence, Maria, who had been in a good mood all day, completely lost her temper. George, who sat in the next seat over, tried frantically to calm Maria. Goda. Is this some sort of dinner entertainment? Hehe, quite a performance. Aniki, quit playing dumb. You called her here, right? Called? Called whom? From where? Nissan, let's be clear about this. Who is she? Surely you aren't going to tell us it really is the Beatrice from that portrait, right? Eva, what the fuck are you talking? I don't have a clue what you people are talking about. Goda, you really aren't joking, right? I was just ordered by Genji-san's, call for Genji. Immediately. Genji! When Natsui yelled, Goda sped out into the hallway. The sound of the door being thrown open was the spark that suddenly set the dinner table ablaze. Suddenly, Natsui's sending Genji out of the room in the last timeline. It's different. So, oh shit. So you're saying you're in the dark too, Nikki? Who called her? Was it Dad? I don't know anything about this. It seems you people think I've been pulling the strings behind the scenes, but that's a huge misunderstanding. Calm down, Krusty-san. We've gone past the stage of skirmishing with each other. If you're saying even you don't know this mystery person, then something crazy's going on. Hideyoshi-san, can't you be a little more discreet with your words? My husband would not invite unnecessary people to the family conference. Did I say indiscreet instead of discreet? I'm sorry if I misread that. Obviously, what are you people talking about? Are you saying the witch of the portrait has broken out of her frame and appeared? It's not as though anyone's actually met this witch face to face. I met her. Eva and Rudolph nodded at Rose's proclamation. Ooh, I met her too. Uncle Kraus, believe it. Believe Mama. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The brief tension was broken, and Maria also started to make a ruckus. By now, the room was thoroughly wrapped in chaos. Chaos. I don't have a clue what's going on. So what does it mean? Does it mean the witch who gave grandfather the gold is showing up as a special guest this year? But is that really true? Aunt Rosa didn't see it wrong, did she? I met her too. Ooh, 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 ooh. Aunt Rosa, are you sure? Yes. Maria and I met her, and we even talked to her. I met her. That was definitely a witch. Believe me, I didn't see it wrong or hallucinate or anything. What on earth was that? In the instant before the typhoon arrived, Rosa definitely met a witch in the rose garden. We were there, but the scene had been so hard to accept as truth that the more she spoke of it like this, the less she understood what it was she had encountered. Ironically, since she was losing her composure, the more frantically she tried to cling to her claim, the more confused and hazy the thing she was describing became. Because of that, it only took a single, calmly spoken sentence to confirm the nature of what she was describing beyond doubt. I also met with her. I greeted, well, I couldn't really call it that. I exchanged a few words with her. It's definitely not something that Rosa-san just saw wrong. Kiryu-san, are you serious? Yes. But she didn't tell me her name, so I can't say for certain that she was Beatrice. However, and sorry if this is subjective, but since I met her in the entrance hall, I was able to compare her face with the portrait. My first impression was that this portrait has to be hers. This is all just subjective. No, be objective. That is impossible. In the first place, where did that woman come from? The only boat arriving today was the one that brought all of you here. Was she on that boat? She was hiding underneath with the Domino's pizza man. Well, it's hard to say for sure. Of course, I don't remember any woman like that getting off the boat with us. Oh, is that all? Can you prove there wasn't a boat besides the one we rode on? Oh man, Battler really likes Eva right now. You can't prove one didn't arrive. Makes sense. If another boat did arrive, it might be possible to prove it. If someone saw it and said they saw it, then you're done. But it's impossible to prove that such a boat didn't arrive. Even if everyone says that no such boat arrived, that they didn't see it arrive, you can't prove that it didn't arrive secretly. It's that thing they call a devil's proof. It'd be simple to prove that the devil exists. That devils exist, all you have to do is meet a devil, but it's impossible to prove that devils don't exist. Just by saying that no one has ever met a devil, you can't deny the possibility that they're hiding away somewhere humans can't go. You can't deny the existence of aliens for exactly the same reason. Until humanity searches the whole of space and can show perfectly that aliens don't exist, you can't be sure that they don't exist. Yep. And it's definitely impossible for us to ever check the entirety of space for the existence of aliens. Therefore, while there may be a number of ways to prove that aliens do exist, it will always be impossible to show proof that denies their existence right now. So any discussion about there being a second boat would just be a waste of our time. She wasn't on the boat with us. Not much is a fact, so she must have arrived on this island through some other means. That's right. There may be no need to discuss how she came here. What's important is that she's actually in this mansion now and doesn't feel like having dinner with us. Okay, let's review. Right now, there's another guest on this island other than the 18 people with the Ishiromiya family. And this is a guest even Nikki and Natsui-san don't know about, right? I know nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Be silent for now. Your headache will get worse. It is as my wife says. I have no idea what you people have been talking about up until now. Then there can be only one answer. Father called her here. Called her here for today's family conference. For the family conference? Again, why? I don't know that. I'm questioning you because I thought you might know. Oh, she's upset. Ava, could you give it a rest? Krusty-san said he doesn't know. So here's what we've got. Father stealthily invited the witch at the portrait as a secret guest. It's like, it's so similar to the other conversation with them like talking about shit that went on. It's pretty good. And she met with Rosa-san and Maria-chan and then Kirie-san. That's all for now. If she has something to say to us, she could just show herself right away. Now we've got to wonder why she shut herself up without greeting us. Does this mean Dad, who never gave a crap about this family conference in the first place, secretly called a new mistress here and had her wear the clothes of his ideal witch? This day's too important for that explanation to fly. There can be only one reason: to join in on the family conference. She wants to claim some right to Father's inheritance. Ridiculous. Might be a good time to read the letter, Rosa. Ridiculous. The family head would have something. The family head wouldn't have something as filthy as a mistress. I told you to be quiet. I've lived in this mansion with Father all this time, and I never heard a thing about something like that. If we stretch plausibility to the limit, and assume Father had an illegitimate child with some mistress decades ago, then maybe Father searched her out and called her here today. Is that what you're trying to say? Dear, it's absurd to think Father has such a child. To waste the noble blood of the Ushiromiya family on a mistress. This is nothing more than a few people making wild claims. It's obviously a fantasy, a delusion, a daydream. Or is everyone taking part in some kind of act to trick my husband? What act? If anyone's acting, it's you! Quit it, Nikki. Natsui-san may be a bit over vehement, but she's right. Kirie saw her, I didn't. Neither did you, Nikki. But Rosa did. But that means she exists. Maria nodding in the background. There are people who can prove she exists, so we're sure right away that she does. It's the opposite of a devil's proof. And I want to meet her too. I want to ask her directly what kind of business she has with the Ushiromiya family. I agree with you on that. I do indeed wish to inquire as to what business she has on Rikkinjima. Don't play dumb. There's only one thing she could be after. Father's inheritance. We should work out our future plans with a lawyer who's hot on inheritance issues. If the mistress claims equal rights as mother, then our shares will be cut right in half. Wait a second, everybody. Genji-san will come very soon. He knows everything. I'm sure he'll answer our questions. Until then, let's stop talking about this. Hey, you kids. Sorry, but the adults have to start talking about something complicated. Return to the guest house. Yoza yelled at the children, slightly overcome with emotion. The children didn't understand why they were suddenly being yelled at this time, but Eva and the rest realized it too late. They were talking so bluntly about the filthy topic of the inheritance right in front of the children. Ooh, of course they wouldn't want their children to remain, so they all immediately agreed with Rosa's plan. That's right, just as Rosa-san says. George, take all the cousins and go back to the guest house. You all play nice together. George, do as you're told. Take all the cousins and leave right now. Wait a second, Mother. We still haven't finished eating. Oh, and dessert hasn't even come yet. Aw, Gouda's upset again! God damn it, Gouda's like, God, I had this whole thing planned! This witch! Here I go killing. We will have Gouda-san take dessert to the guest house. So leave. Jessica, from here on, the adults will be talking together. Go. Sure. Even though I'm still eating? Well, guess I won't be the only exception. Thanks for understanding, Battler-kun. What, you sure are lucky. Huh? Why? I don't want to leave if I could. I bet. I'll let you adults enjoy your happy family chat about the inheritance. These two get along so well. Like, oh, it's Nanjo also has thoughts. I will also leave my seat. At any rate, it appears my turn will not come tonight. Nanjo quietly rose to his feet. That's a weird line. From his seat in the farthest corner, he had been calmly watching the whole discussion without butting in. Surely that reaction of his was very adult, just what you'd expect of a calm old gentleman. When Nanjo rose from his seat, it ended up encouraging the others who were supposed to leave. The children noisily rose from their seats as they hurried into the hallway. The servants returned. I apologize for taking so long. I have called Genji. I was checking to see that all of the doors and windows were shut, so it took me some time. My apologies. Come on, children, to the guest house. Goda-san, my apologies, but could you carry the children's portion of the dessert to the guest house? Huh. Is that what you wish? It seemed Goda wasn't amused to see the dinner he'd worked so hard on interrupted like this. He sent Natsuya a look as though asking her whether that was really okay. Do as Rosa-san says, and it will not be necessary to set out dessert for us. Do not approach the dining hall until we call for you. Tell the rest of the servants to do the same. Understood? Yes, as you wish. Poor Goda. Come everyone. Shall we go? Maria-san, you mustn't trouble your mother anymore. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I want to talk about Bito too. No, no, no. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Maria-chan, could you tell us about Beatrice in the guest house? I really want to hear about the witch, okay? Ooh, ooh. You're pretty damn smooth, Georgie-san. I'm impressed. Can't believe you're still... Are you sure you don't have kids? You're too used to this, ehehe. George's words had completely restored Miria's good mood, and now she took the initiative, telling the others to head on to the guest house. It looked like Goda didn't like being kicked out himself, but he couldn't disobey Natsui, so he left the room with Battler and the rest, closing the door. Is there some way I might be of service, everyone? Yeah, there sure is. We've got a whole bunch of questions. In fact, every one of us does. So much that we almost want to have a lottery to see who gets to ask first. But no matter who wins the first lottery, the first question will be the same, won't it? That's right. Who the fuck is Genji-san? Answer me honestly. Who is this person called Beatrice in the VIP room right now? Oh, we don't get to see. Hold on, 1 second. Is there music? There we go. Thank you, Squirming Horror. Thank you, Moxis, for the resub. Hi, Joe and future VOD me. I finally have a stable-ish job, so I can sub again. You've been great company when I needed it for many years, so thank you. Are you for real gonna read some Homestuck on 413? It's like my favorite thing, and so I am obviously terrified. More of chat than you, to be honest. Genuinely, I think you might like it. That's the deal I made with Balder. Yep. Balder has done me several favors, and yep. So, I agreed. I'm only reading it that one time, though. If that's the date that Balder said, that's what I'm doing. What's Homestuck? I don't know. My read on it is that it's a webcomic, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, we're doing that on the 13th of April. You said the same thing about Umineko, and look where we are. Oh, enjoying Peak? Oh, I'm sorry. What? Oh, Joe, what if Homestuck is good and we all have a really great time reading it together? Wouldn't that be fucking awful? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Oh, for fuck's sake. I swear to God, this is Dalmec on an alt account. Thank you, Joe's Free Use Boy Toy, for the resub. I've lost gallons to Beatrice. Of Gatorade? Rehydrating? Yep. Thank you very much. Punish Baldus for the resub. Missed half the stream. How has Umineko been treating you? It's been pretty okay this far. Nothing huge has happened today, but it's we're just going through it. Yep. Not as slow as some of the parts of the opening of episode 2 have been so far, I think. Thank you, Vod Dutchington, for the resub. Hi, Joe. As a huge Chandelier Crane fan. Thank you, Top Virtuosity, for some more bits as well. Excited to see you play Baldur's Gate 3 and Signalis. Hopefully you like it and chat doesn't ruin it. It's like the old Resident Evil games, but better. Uh-oh. Also, anyone hearing this, please DM me on Discord, Joms fan art, if you have any, because running low of stuff to post on r/Joms. Joms has a subreddit. Hiyoshi's claim that advertising doubled the taste was apparently right. After being chased out of the guest house, the kids in Nanjo had gathered in the cousin's room and were eating the cake that Kumasawa had brought for dessert. It was both wonderful and high class, topped with lavish amounts of cream and decorated deliciously with fruits. But delicious as it was, it didn't taste quite as good for some reason. Haha, without Goda-san selling it, it isn't nearly as good. Oh. Is that an insult? Oh no. And if we ask Kumasawa-san to sell it, she'd just say it's made of mackerel. Ooh, really? You can make cake from mackerel? Oh, absolutely. And as you can see with this very cake, if you mix the squeezed juice out of mackerel with flour and eggs before cooking, it comes out all fluffy. Oh, that'd be incredible if true. Maybe mackerel cake will show up on the new menu at one of Father's restaurants. Wow. After all, mackerel's full of nutrients and sounds healthy. It might get real popular with women and the elderly, but I'm not going to get anywhere near it. Girls won't eat something that weird. Oh, Nanjo's here! What's Nanjo doing here? Even the elderly would wish to decline. Oh. But it's delicious, you know? Kumasawa was really cheering up the mood with her classic mackerel jokes. Oh yeah, she did do some of them in episode 1, didn't she? But the sound of the downpouring rain kept turning their attention towards the mystery guest. In the end, they showered Maria with questions again, since she was the only person here to have met Beatrice. I can't believe she was actually telling us the truth. The truth. No, okay. You make it sound like though you never believed it, this Maria meets a witch business isn't news to you. Yeah, I thought it was just one of those fairy tales you'd expect from a dreamy kid that age. She exists! Beatrice exists! Is this for emphasis or what? Every year when we come to the family conference, I meet her and we play together. That's right. Although Beatrice-sama doesn't usually show herself, I hear she sometimes unexpectedly appears before honest people with clean hearts. Why is she talking to Maria then? Beatrice referred to that character in the fairy tale about the Rokkenjima witch. To keep Kinzo in a good mood, the family and servants acted as though they believed in the witch of his delusions. That's how Rokkenjima's fairy tale, or maybe ghost story, had come into being. To the family members who knew that backstory, the fairy tale of the Golden Witch wasn't something to be taken too seriously. However, they were never able to say that out loud in front of Kinzo. Because of that, the legend of the witch carried a lot more weight to someone like young Maria, who didn't know the story of how it had come into being. That's why Maria believed in the legend of the witch. She accepted it entirely. That was only natural for an imaginative girl who believed in witches. So people had avoided saying things that would betray her dream. On the contrary, they had worked together to say and do things that would help liven her dreams without her knowing. So when Maria-chan was showing us that candy that supposedly came from Beatrice, I figured someone subtly slipped it into her handbag. I have done similar things a few times in the past, secretly placing sweets somewhere. So it was you! I imagine even Kumasawa-san, or rather all of the servants and everyone in the Ushirimiya family has done it once or twice. So if it'll make a small innocent kid happy, you might place a sweet somewhere and have everyone join in on keeping the secret alive for her. Come to think of it, I'll bet you do that kind of thing all the time, George and Nikki. Who knows? It'd probably be boorish to admit to such a thing out loud. George admitted it while being extremely wary that Maria didn't find out. Who just carries around candy? In other words, it's kind of like Santa Claus. To protect the kids' dreams. Okay, alright, excuse me, okay. Spoilers for Santa Claus? If there's if you're on a speaker system or anything like that? Okay, alright. Yep. To protect the kids' dreams, the parents plot together and lie, setting presents at the bedside of a child fast asleep. After all, you want to protect the kids' dreams, right? Obviously, I've known Santa doesn't exist for a long time now, but if there's no reason to wake up from a dream like that, I wish I could have believed it all my life. Because adults know that the world is filled with terrible things. They all want to at least protect the pure dreams of a child. Ooh, Beatrice exists. Exists. Yes, she does. Beatrice-sama does exist, right? Some time ago, when I was drying mackerel to make some black tea, suddenly... Well, it basically goes something like that. Give me 1 minute, chat, sorry. Alright, I'm back, sorry about that. Witcher 3 vid, when can you pick your fucking... What? Well, it basically goes something like that. Supposedly, at least. So simply put, this was supposed to be a witch that no one but Maria believed in. I wouldn't phrase it quite like that. The point isn't that we didn't believe, we were all trying to give her a chance to believe. So this is about not betraying a child's innocence, but Santa doesn't exist in reality. Wait, what? If you don't want kids to be all disappointed when they learn the truth, you'd be better off not showing them the dream in the first place. This is actually something that I debated with myself, and I still don't know if I made the right call, is the fact that I think this proof that I'm still a long way from becoming a full adult. The true nature of Rokkenjima, or the Rokkenjima witch, was finally starting taking shape in Battler's mind. However, their current situation overrode this understanding, and in fact, it completely overturned its very premise. So, we thought we knew what was going on, but now Beatrice-sama, the witch, has actually appeared in reality. Is that it? And judging by how freaked out our parents were, it looks like she wasn't an invited guest. Now it's starting to get interesting. There's no reason for us to simply assume that a woman called Beatrice doesn't exist. It's what Uncle Rudolph called the devil's proof. Battler thought it first. None of us knew that a woman calling herself Beatrice existed. Well, I mean, somewhere in the world, like it's a name, but that's not the same as proving that Beatrice doesn't exist. Dr. Nanjo, you've been friends with grandfather for a long time, right? At one point during the family conference, I was questioned quite thoroughly by Krasan and the others. They wanted to know if long ago Kinzo-san might have had a mistress called Beatrice and an illegitimate child with her. I get it. Is it true? I may be a doctor, but I'm a bro first. Bros never tell. Our parents have their heads full with the inheritance problem, so of course, if the daughter of a mistress like that showed up, it'd be troublesome for them. Krasan and the rest probably asked Genji-san about it first. However, Genji-san is an aide who's sworn loyalty to Kinzo-san and is probably a friend more trusted by Kinzo-san than myself. I doubt he told them anything. So next time, they went to ask me, as an old friend of his. And, did grandfather have a lover called Beatrice, Dr. Nanjo? Yes. He did! No, I have never met her. But Kinzo believes she existed. However, I have heard from Kinzo-san that he had a relationship with a woman like that. He said she passed away a very long time ago. She's dead. So did the two of them have a kid? That I do not know, but Kinzo-san always says that reviving Beatrice is the goal of his research. Usually, if one loses a mistress but has a child left behind to remember them by, they pour all of their love onto that child. Therefore, we naturally assume that there was no such child between Kinzo-san and Beatrice. So that leaves us with another devil's proof. Yeah, it's impossible to prove that a child between him and a mistress didn't exist. So, now that this child has actually appeared, we have to assume she did exist after all. That's a bit of a rushed argument. It's more realistic that someone caught wind of the trouble with the Ushirimiya family inheritance, knew about grandfather's relationship with a mistress long ago, and then dressed up and came to fuck with us, and impersonated her, trying to take a slice of the inheritance for themselves. Okay. Sure, that is realistic. But we can't deny the possibility that she really isn't an illegitimate child. One who lived in isolation, forgotten by grandfather, and who's returned for revenge, right? Revenge? What do you mean? Ah, sorry. Guys just like to dramatize stuff to make it sound interesting. I've seen too many weird dramas. Normally that might come off as a light joke, but the joke had landed after an uninvited mystery guest calling herself Beatrice had marched in on the day of the family conference with the bloody argument that the inheritance had become took center stage. Yeah, I know. There was no way Battler's joke would be welcomed with laughter, so it was a really big help when Nanjo laughed brightly to calm everyone down. Man, Nanjo, what a great mood breaker. Can't believe you're still single. I see. That does sound quite intriguing. I would love to read a novel with a plot like that. Well, I don't think it could actually work. After all, right now, on this island, there's 1, 2, 3, a full 18 people, right? If anyone tries to do something weird, they'll immediately get caught, and thanks to the typhoon, they can't even leave the island. In other words, if you tried to commit some crazy crime, you'd be screwed. Unless, I agree, in a dead end without any way to escape, and in a situation where everyone's really suspicious of her. Okay, like seriously, do you know and you're just pretending, or do you only know when you go back to sleep? What's going on here? I'm so curious. I seriously doubt she could pull off a terrifying revenge drama like that. Probably not. In that case, it would be more realistic if she had come in secret without making her presence known. I simply cannot imagine someone appearing openly to take revenge outside of some historical drama. Well, who knows, right? Revenge is based on emotion, not logic. If you've got someone willing to go down along with their opponent, they might not be afraid of anything, not even the police or large numbers of people. It's okay, Jessica-chan. None of the disturbing things we're imagining will happen. Like the battle royale between our parents over the inheritance isn't disturbing. That's right. Dad and Uncle Rudolph are pretty tough, and Aunt Eva's even trained in the martial arts. Calling it back? We'll be fine. Yeah. Jessica didn't say it out loud, but she'd vaguely noticed that her own father stood in opposition to all the other siblings on the inheritance issue. They usually played nice in front of the children, but when that pretense was lifted away, like it had been at dinner, the result would be a tumultuous uproar. After realizing this, it was only natural for Jessica to be frightened at the thought that her parents might get caught up in some kind of trouble and become human sacrifices for something terrifying. Seriously, George and Nikki's right. Nothing's gonna happen. Even if she pretends she's a witch, what can a single human woman who can't even use magic do? That's where you're wrong, bucko, he says in the magical storm. Oh, not again. The sudden creepy laugh made all of them jump, and when they realized the strange laugh was coming from Maria, they were shocked again. I see. So that's how you see it, Battler. What is it? Don't laugh all creepy like that. You accept Beatrice's existence for now. At least you accept her as the 19th person and a guest. But that's all, right? You don't accept that the 19th person, Beatrice, is a witch, right? Huh? Of all the crazy things to say, of course that's what I think. Witches couldn't possibly exist. The only possibility is that she's a human woman claiming to be a witch. Hmm? Isn't that odd, Battler? That's a devil's proof, isn't it? Of course witches don't exist. But just because you've never met a witch, that doesn't mean you've proven that witches don't exist, right? That's right. You're not wrong there. I can't prove that witches don't exist. However, even if I can't prove it, I can claim it. I claim that witches don't exist. Why? How can you claim that witches don't exist even though you can't prove it? Because things like that don't exist. So that's QED? You finished your proof without any evidence or basis? Where are you getting off saying QED, Maria? Now there's a typical case of the ignorant willfully ignoring the shallowness of their own knowledge. A reckless suspension of thought. Then there's only one way to resolve this, Maria. The witch's side needs to show some proof themselves. It's a devil's proof again. If you bring me a devil, we can end this right now. In this case, we can just get this woman calling herself Beatrice to display some wonderful magnificent magic like the twinkling stars. All she has to do is show us something. That's impossible for humans, right? Well, in episode 3 she will, and then she'll be like, yeah, oh, so the problem was I didn't show magic, huh? Well, here's some magic. Vroom, vroom, vroom. See, you saw it. And be like, well, no, that could just be fucking like an elaborate light show. Maybe you have a pyrotechnical fire guy back in the bush, and then you hear a sneeze, and it's like, shit. Okay, do it without a pyrotechnical fire guy. Come now, you two. Please settle down. Kumasawa noticed that the atmosphere between them was getting worse and tried to calm them. Equally? Look at this! It seemed as though Battler quickly realized that he wasn't acting like an adult, but Maria's expression didn't loosen. As she laughed creepily, she sat staring at Battler. You quit it too, Maria. Let's get back in a good mood, okay? If that's what you want, Beatrice will definitely show you. Something impossible for humans. When she does, you'll believe too, okay? You'll believe in Beatrice. Sure. If she lets me have a look, I'll believe. It's a chess debate between the witch and you, Battler. If you get checkmated, you'll believe in the witch. Oh, I like the way you put that. The witch shows her magic. My king is put into check. I quibble, saying that it'd be possible to reproduce her feat using measures even a human could take, and my king escapes. Failing to do that would be checkmates. That's a pretty good analogy. Battler. In chess, you and your opponent have pieces that move in the same way, so you can predict your opponent's moves. But you know what? What you aren't expecting is that your opponent's pieces might be able to move in ways far stranger than yours. You simply assumed that, since witches must not exist, the movements of Beatrice's pieces will obviously be the same as your own. But you know what? Sorry, Battler, but your chess partner isn't human. She's a witch. She can move her pieces in ways that humans can't. We're playing checkers. Right now, your understanding is flawed. Battler, you like Aunt Kyrie's chessboard thinking, right? Yeah. Did you hear that? When did you hear the chessboard thinking? Chessboard thinking was said in the parlor scene. Did she say it in the dinner scene? Yeah, I like that style of thinking, where you stand in your opponent's shoes. And that's why you'll get stuck. Even though your opponent is a witch, you won't accept it, so you can't understand the moves a witch might make, and your chessboard thinking won't work. Your knowledge of your opponent is mistaken. The very first premise of chessboard thinking is broken down. Ah, so that's your game. You cannot win in chess against a witch. Hehehehe. Oh, chill vibes are back. Oh no, not again. I don't know what happened after that. We servants were strictly ordered not to approach the dining room. I see. So, Shannon, have you ever met this person called Beatrice before? I don't know. That was a slightly odd way to say it. It didn't quite sound as if she was saying her memory was hazy. For us servants, Beatrice-sama is the second master of this mansion. Some people say we've spread that rumor because of the master's influence, but even when I just started working here, the story of Beatrice-sama was already being whispered of. I've heard about it before. If you don't show her respect, you'll get cursed, and at least one servant actually did meet with an accident, right? Yes. but it's true that some people believed more than others. I believe respect for that sort of thing shouldn't be forgotten, so I've never doubted that she exists. I vaguely believe that a shadowy being called the Golden Witch existed, and then that witch, whose existence was so shadowy and obscure, actually showed herself and entered openly through the entrance hall. Is that what happened? I don't know. I don't know anything. When you brought her to dinner, sorry. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Alright. Focus up. Focus up. Focus up. Words are starting to swim a little bit. Focus up. Focus up. Let me eat the rest of this cookie. 1 second. Time to bring out the Red Bull. I had a Red Bull at the beginning of stream. I don't know if it does anything. Alright. ASMR, please. Someone said 50 minutes left. Are we 50 minutes away? Or we had a very long opening. Don't we have... Aren't we going to 5 hours today? Or what? I guess we'll see. Sorry, cracking my knuckles. Cracking my knuckles. Here we go. Here we go. Alright. When you brought her dinner, did you talk about anything? No, nothing. I see. Still, a witch that eats food somehow doesn't sound so realistic. What? Maybe after all, it's just someone who knows about the witch legend on this island, someone who's taking on Beatrice's name. I think you've probably come to respect Beatrice and think of her as something like a guardian god of the mansion, so when a person appeared actually going by that name, maybe you were a little disturbed. That's right. I guess that must be the case. George was slightly at a loss about what to do about Shannon's downcast appearance. Maybe not just Genji, but even the young servants had been ruthlessly questioned as to whether they knew anything about this Beatrice person. Thinking that, he tried to cheer her up somehow. Surely, just like Mary and Jessica, Shannon was unable to fully hide the agitation caused by the sudden visit of this person calling herself the Golden Witch. He'd been so sure that that was the case. But George probably had no way of looking into Shannon's heart. Shannon was bitter and sad. The doors to the Golden Land would be opened. The witch had definitely told her that. That meant the demise of everything, even if she accepted the ring from George. They would never be married now. No, in the first place, did furniture like her even have the right to be married? Even if the witch hadn't come to signal their demise, wasn't their relationship fated to fail sooner or later? Had she turned her gaze to focus solely on those fun days spent with George, while purposefully closing her eyes to the sad reality? What's wrong? You really haven't looked well for a while now. George-san, what does it mean to be engaged? Huh? Oh, trying to find a loophole? It means making a promise to marry, but I think in that sense it means the same thing as marriage. To be honest, I want to take you home as my wife right away. But right now, I'm in the middle of training and I'm still a long way from having the capacity to create my own castle. That's why I want to take you home with me, with my head held high, only after I become a full adult. I'm not talking about the distant future. I just want you to wait a short 3 years. Quoi? Bro? But that doesn't mean I want to lie about my feelings for another 3 years. So I decided to give you an engagement ring. That might be a shameful reason as a man. Maybe it's shameful to get engaged because I want you to wait, since I can't support my work and a wife at the same time yet. But I will definitely. Thank you very much. I understand that to you, George-san, an engagement ring means something different than one of the many presents you'd give to a lover. Of course it's different. An engagement ring isn't a simple accessory. It's an oath between lovers, a noble promise left in the form of a ring. Giggle. So, if we were to get married right away, it'd be completely meaningless, right? Then it wouldn't be an engagement ring. I'd give it to you as a wedding ring. Either way, I'd still be giving you a ring. So, it's a sold sign, like saying, this woman is mine, nobody touch her. No, that's not what I want. Cough. George knew that he was weak by nature. When he'd been captivated by Shannon and had sworn to become an excellent man, he had also sworn to throw away that weak part of himself. So even though he had to be blunt about it, he chose to answer a little roughly. He was sure that doing so would bolster and reassure Shannon. No, that may be true. Sayo, I'll make you my wife. I won't give you to anyone else. I'll make you mine alone, so no one will lay a hand on you. That's what this ring is, without a doubt. Thank you very much, George-san. I feel like she's building to like saying, why don't we just, let's get engaged, but don't give me the ring until like tomorrow. She's gonna have her cake and eat it too. Get fucked, Beatrice! You said I didn't have to take the ring. You said nothing about agreeing to marry him or anything like that. I'm truly happy. Then, George-san, if it was decided by fate that this engagement ring, that this promise could never be fulfilled, would you still give it to me? Shannon tried to ask that, but she swallowed her words, because George had already spoken the answer. George had said it. He had said that to him an engagement ring was infinitely similar to a wedding ring. Therefore, accepting George's ring had a significance far more sacred than a promise to marry. Oh, the opposite. So, I'll stop calling this an engagement ring. From now on, this isn't an engagement, it's a wedding ring. Is that really okay? Is it okay to just proclaim that we're married without even God's blessing? Yeah, it's enough to tell God, Father, and Mother about it afterwards. We'll tell them all that we've been married. No one will be able to undo it. I declare bankruptcy. Okay, George-san. I'm not saying this because of a momentary emotion. I'm not just looking at how you are now. I'm looking at the you of tomorrow, of the next day. I'm even gazing at you as you'll be in old age, in the future, as I say this. You're always thinking about that, George-san. How about how you want to enjoy your old age slowly, surrounded by healthy children and grandchildren. Yeah. At that time, an older you will be beside me. That is what I expect. No, what I foresee. Yes. Because that day will surely come. Will it surely come? Yes. Surely. Definitely. And this ring proves it without words. Please. Show me. Huh? What are we doing? Here it is. George, thinking he was being told to show her the ring, hurriedly took out the ring box. Even though he had practiced so much, he hadn't been able to do it cool. But Shannon wasn't looking at that. In her straight and direct gaze were vague tears and a smile. She focused her eyes on George's eyes, no, on something she could see beyond his eyes. Please, show me that future. Yeah, I'll show you. Surely. I promise it. And not just until old age. After we die too. Even when we become spirits, we'll always be together. Shannon wiped away her tears and took the ring box. Inside was a diamond ring worthy of blessing the two of them. George said the line that he practiced over and over again inside his head. I want you to put this on whatever finger you like and have that be your answer. So by tomorrow morning... Dude, the ring's already on. Giggle. Yeah. Shannon smiled, took the ring, and with a completely natural movement, put it on the ring finger of her left hand. It really had looked like such a natural, ordinary movement. And for a while, George was stunned. This is my answer, George-san. Shannon. No. Sayo. Even when we become spirits, we'll always be together, George-san. There was no blessing from God, no pastor to witness, nothing. But the two who were married proclaimed it. Two souls were joined here today. Smash? Smash? No. Okay. Nissan, you're a fool. Is that so? Even though you're furniture. I'm not furniture. Not anymore. Liar. Why are you fooling yourself? Even though you know you can never become human. Even though you know you can't become human unless you go to the Golden Land. Knowing that, why did you abandon the promise that would let you go there? Oh, right. By accepting the ring, that promise with Beatrice-sama comes to nothing, doesn't it? Giggle. I'm sorry. From now on, I, you, George-sama, the master, and everyone else are under the same conditions. 13 people will be sacrificed. Only 5 people will be invited to the Golden Land. And you rejected one of those places yourself. That's odd. It looks like you're the one with regrets, Kennen-kun. You're the one with regrets, aren't you, Nissan? No, you got engaged, right? Even though you knew it was fate that would never be fulfilled. Yes. Yes. I promised that we would always be together for eternity. So, you know what? In that instant, our eternity was completed. Even if we become sacrifices, it's already completed, so it's okay. Does George know this? Kennen, you're the one who actually has regrets. We're furniture, right? We'll be freed no matter what the result. So it doesn't matter whether we go to the Golden Land or not. And yet, you're set on going there. You want to become human no matter what, right? Why? Because I want to become human. I've had enough of being furniture. Dude, just do it. Why? I wanted to fall in love too. Tears were coming from Kanon's eyes, and he howled. I liked Milady, and after seeing Milady that day, I started liking her even more. And when I heard that Milady also liked me, I was really happy. But I'm furniture, and I can't accept Milady's feelings. You're wrong. We may be furniture. We may be less than human, but that doesn't mean we aren't qualified to love. I thought that if these feelings wouldn't ever come to anything, I'd be better off not having them. I just decided that eventually I'd disappear, and that it definitely hurt her. No, that's wrong. I was just frightened. I was just afraid, thinking that any love that couldn't be eternal was best avoided. Even though their lives last only a few weeks, cicadas fall in love and then vanish. But you'll never find a cicada that... Cicada? Cicada? Tomato? Tomato? That refuse to fall in love simply because it'd end in a few weeks. Yeah, but they're bugs. They're dumb, Shannon. It seemed that Kanon was still muttering his regrets, but by now it was all jumbled up with his sobs. That witch is detestable. Why did she plant these feelings in me? If only she hadn't pulled that bizarre prank, I wouldn't have paid Milady any notice. Beatrice-sama is detestable. To make you cry bitter tears, she played games with your fate. But I don't think things went as the witch expected. After all, knowing love isn't a regret that ties you to life. It is the destination we're supposed to reach in our journey through life. And without love... Well, now, Kanon, why are you backing this in the rain? That promise you worked so hard for has now come to nothing. Cackle, cackle, cackle. Very well then. Regardless, the conditions for all the pieces are the same. There are 18 pieces. 13 will be offered as sacrifices. How many pieces are on a chessboard each side? 16, right? 16? 32 pieces total? 16 on each side? Okay. Who will the 5 survivors be? Or else? Will someone destroy the ceremony? Who? How? When? Why? This isn't a chess problem. It's a game on equal footing. On an equal footing. I won't be cornering you one-sidedly. You'll be able to frantically escape my advances and force a tie, an invalid match. At any rate, I doubt you can manage more than repeating that over and over, and it probably won't be that difficult for you. However, this invalid match will continue forever until it eventually wears down your mind and kills it. This is when you'll accept your defeat and surrender to me. There's a reason I said it was like a game on equal footing. That's because rules for my loss have also been established. There's nothing as boring as a game you can't lose, right? I mean, tell the people who cheated on Showdown. As for how to defeat me, that would be the epitaph that stands as an offering to my portrait. It's both the way to open the door to the Golden Land and the key to destroying my ceremony. I'll try to complete the ceremony in accordance with the epitaph. You'll try to solve the riddle of the epitaph, destroy the ceremony, and overthrow me. Solve the riddle hidden in the epitaph, and expose the location of the vast sum of gold I gave Kinzo. What? What result will this game show us? I'm expecting a good fight, okay? Entertain me, Ushiromiya Battler. Battler! Why does she keep changing clothes? Wouldn't you if you looked like that? I have no objections. Where are we? Natsui and I acknowledge it. Good. I can't believe it, and I don't want to. But this is the truth, isn't it? Natsui, choose your words more carefully. She's this family's most honored guest. I also acknowledge it. Can't argue back. Yes, I acknowledge it. I have absolutely no complaints. I can't believe you actually... You have my honest respect. What's happening? Me too. Incredible. I can't believe you went to the orphanage, found someone that looks exactly like the portrait, went there, like did like acting lessons over 5 years, got her into character, like pumped her full of like opium and cocaine right now, made her really believe she's a witch, and made her come in. Like what are you talking about? I genuinely respect you, so I have to acknowledge it. I acknowledge it too. I still can't believe it. Still, what can I do? You've proven devils. It's your victory. Oh shit! She's in the room! The devil's proof was a convenient excuse you liked using to handle unprovable matters, but now it's become your mortal enemy, has it not? Don't torture me, mighty witch. I've already acknowledged you. I resign. Uh-oh. Kyrie? Do you still have objections? I must have everyone in agreement. If you alone will not acknowledge my existence. As the witch laughed boldly, the siblings started getting frantic. They were afraid of displeasing the witch. Kyrie lightly closed her eyes, and after keeping silent for a while, opened her mouth. My apologies. I resign. Only Kyrie had faced the witch with stern eyes until the end. However, this had only resulted in her refusing to accept the truth for a short time. Really? Et tu, Kyrie? What? The truth, the being that was before her eyes, couldn't be denied. Devils had already been proven. I mean, did she do magic? I also acknowledge it. You are Beatrice, the Ushirimiya family alchemist, and a user of great magic. I must acknowledge the fact that you are a witch. What's going on? Moments before we got to that scene, Beatrice is like, okay, look, I know I haven't proven anything, but I just want to, like, you know, to smooth things over. How about we just all go around the circle and you just all, just, you know, try it out. Just say that I'm a witch and you believe me and I know magic. That's what I want you to do. Okay, all right, here we go. Oh, hold on. Perspective camera's coming in. All right, timed perfectly. All right, say it. All right, we're done. All right, perspective camera's out. Okay, all right, now how did that feel? Like, do we feel that maybe, like, we can move in that direction or not? I know you don't believe me right now. Like, what was that? I'll pay you $500 to fuck off and call me a witch. Maybe she just has a lot of money. Yeah, hold on. I'll settle all of your debts. Here we go. Did you enjoy the cookie? I did. I wish I munched another one while this was going on. Okay, so who's going to be dead this time? I think it's going to be a different group of people, and maybe in the same location, but maybe in a different location. They just introduced the church, so maybe people are going to be in dead in the church. I think this time it's going to be the servants that are dead. I think. Let me see the screen. Can I see the screen? No, I can't. What is the sound that always fills my ear? Okay, so 6 people have to be dead for the first Twilight, right? It's the same. 6 chosen. Okay, all right. So here's what me thinks. Me thinks. Dead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more. Shannon's not gonna die until Twilight 2 with George. Maybe Kinzo, or maybe one of these dudes. Maybe Kyrie for being the last one to say something. That's what I think. I think this time it's gonna be kind of the opposite. So boom, dead, and then 1 more. I don't know who. For some reason, I'm kind of thinking Kinzo. I don't know why. I'm kind of feeling Kinzo. Let's save it. What is the sound that always fills my ears? Is it the sound of the rain, the sound of a waterfall, or could it be radio static? If not, I want it to be the sound of blood flowing through my body. I want it to be the sound of the blood circulating throughout me, telling me that I'm still... Oh, maybe it's Battler. Battler's a ghost for the whole time, and he's like Beatrice, like, what are we talking about? Believe in me, I literally killed you. Like, prove I'm a ghost. Prove it. I still think and feel like what. Is it morning? The light entering... Oh, I'm wrong! The light entering through a crack in the curtain was faint, but at least it told him that the dawn had broken. Kinzo, still in the position he'd been when he woke up, was still sitting in a chair and looking up at the ceiling, felt the blood slowly travel throughout his body. Okay, judging by the clock, it was early morning, 6 on the dot. No matter how tired he was, no matter how deeply he slept, he always woke up exactly this time, as though he had measured it with an hourglass. He didn't think of this as something to boast about, but he told himself that as long as he could still manage this, his health couldn't be that bad. Morning has come, which means... It would appear I've avoided becoming one of the first sacrifices. Was I merely lucky when the roulette was spun? Or is this the fruit of my efforts? How irritating that I cannot tell the difference, but I mustn't be bothered by such trivialities. Who are you talking to, bud? Kinzo was struck by a faint desire to see beyond the study door. After all, he might find the traces of someone's vain struggle to break through the door, a sign that someone had tried to select him as one of the first sacrifices. Humans are cheap creatures. Even though everything is ultimately decided by God, when humans are given good fortune, they arrogantly feel it was due to their own ability. What could Beatrice possibly have done to convince all of them? Especially, like, what? Like, 5 of them were so staunchly against it, making fun of Kraus before that. That was why he wanted to check whether there was a wretched mark on the door. The very desire was human, and that was why Kinzo did not check. He often rejected desires that came to him because he was human. Wants to act like furniture. By doing that, he could be immersed in a feeling of sufficiency, as though he himself had become a being that surpassed humans. He recognized human desires for what they were, and guarded against them. Things that a human would want to do, he resisted. This eccentricity and rebellious nature had surely given him a rare genius. Eccentric. By making it possible for him to succeed in his exploits as he revived the Ushirimiya family in a single generation. Well then, Beatrice, what were the 6 pieces you took, and what will your next move be? Entertain me. My defense is perfect. I will not shame myself like last time. Last time? You remember? No. Do you? The servants woke early. They had to open the curtains, prepare breakfast, and complete various other tasks to welcome the guests to a new day. Or is he talking about the... Oh, God, I'm so wrong. What the fuck? Is it just the same people? Does she convince them that they have to die and then they did it to themselves? So wrong. God damn it. Goto was the most enthusiastic. During the family conference, he had been told to concentrate his efforts especially on cooking, so he'd been specially exempted from several tasks that servants normally must do. Goto, who was a show-off, seemed to be feeling particularly superior because of that. He had let Genji and the rest prepare the rest of the mansion and worked on making breakfast in the kitchen. No, Genji's fucking... Alright. At least halfway wrong. Genji split the work with Shannon and Cannon, and they carried out various tasks. Shannon headed to the dining hall and knocked. Last year, the family conference had continued to the early hours in the morning. It wouldn't have been odd if this year's conference had done the same. Considering the possibility that they were still having a discussion inside, she knocked, but there was no response, so she opened the door and said good morning. Cannon, who was dead, didn't do anything. Good morning. Is anyone there? The room was cold, and the conference seemed to have ended a long time before. There was a tea set on the table from which they'd been drinking, arranged in a way that would make it easy to clean up. Cleaning up the tea was a servant's job. If the family members were extra generous and cleaned it up themselves, the servants would lose face. So it was a truly pleasant act of kindness for the family to do only this much. As she approached the table to clean it, she noticed something like a memo that had been left near the utensils and cups. Since it was right next to we didn't read the letters! Since it was right next to the tea set, Shannon picked it up, naturally thinking it was a memo for the servant doing the cleaning. Written there was not a request, nor was it thanks to preparing the tea. There was just a single word. Shannon looked at it blankly and read out loud. Church. Chapel. Rowan? A small sound kept repeating over and over. Normally that sound would have been too trivial to be worth caring about. If only I could stop hearing it soon, I could go back to sleep right away, she thought vaguely. But no matter how much time passed, the sound did not end. It repeated over and over. Ah, shut up. Who is it? Banging on the door this whole time. As soon as she realized that, she woke up. Someone was knocking. And then she noticed that it wasn't just a knock, but a voice as well. Rosa-sama. Good morning. Wait, Rose is alive? Wait, I'm coming now. It had been Genji's voice. Looking at the clock, it wasn't even 7 yet. It was clearly too early to wake the guests. Did something happen that was bad enough to cause this? She felt her sleepiness increasingly fade thanks to the premonition of misfortune. Though Genji was a servant, Rosa had known him since her childhood days, so even though she was slightly defenseless in her pajamas, she opened the door a crack and answered. And then Genji stabbed her. Stab, 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 stab. Good morning. I apologize for waking you this early. Did something happen? Yes. Actually, at the chapel. Genji whispered something into Rosa's ear. For a second, it seemed Rosa couldn't understand what she'd been told. After having it repeated several times, she realized that apparently something strange had happened. Rosa closed her door for a second, changed her clothes quickly, and followed Genji towards the mansion. Is it the kids this time? Could Battler be dead? Is that allowed? The chapel requires some explanation. It wasn't in the... Yeah, thank you. I was wondering where that was. Was there even a chapel last time? It wasn't in the mansion, but in a grove behind it, a short walk's distance away. It had been built at the same time as the mansion, so though its walls had been repaired many times, making it look new from the outside, it was a very old building. Rosa dashed through the rain along with Genji. Just like the previous night, the rain was falling in earnest. Who's Ernest? Has lions outside? Eventually the chapel came... This is huge! Isn't this just the mansion? Eventually the chapel came into sight from beyond a thin grove. Just looking at it from the outside, it seemed a place of dazzling beauty where a pair of young lovers might want to get married. However, Kinzo is... What's going on? Oh shit! Thank you for the 50 fucking gift subs, Mitri. Holy shit, thank you. Stun locked. Holy fuck. That's a lot. Thank you, Mitri. As I say your name wrong. Matairi! Maybe it's that. However, Kinzo apparently viewed it as a very sacred place, so Rosa and her siblings had been given strict instructions not to approach it unnecessarily. Even though they were all grown up now, approaching the chapel for any reason would still make them feel guilty, and also afraid, as if their father might get angry and hit them in the face. Well, is that where she learned it from? The servants' silhouettes could be seen in front of the chapel's entrance. Goda, Shannon, and Cannon, which meant that all the servants on the morning shift had gathered. A short while ago, Genji had spoken to Rosa, telling her what the situation was. However, without laying eyes on it directly, she definitely hadn't been able to understand. It was probably the same for all the servants gathered here as well. Without seeing it with their own eyes, they wouldn't be able to understand what was going on. Okay. Did I get any of them right? On the door at the entrance to the chapel was something very large, drawn with a creepy, stringy paint that made one think of blood. Something like a creepy magic circle. What is this? When was it drawn here? The servants looked at each other. Godo was the first to open his mouth. My apologies. We don't usually enter this building, so we don't know when it was made. Then who was the first person to find it? It was me. When I went to the dining hall to clean up the tea set, I found a memo with chapel written on it. Shannon held up the memo with a shaking hand. Whose handwriting is it? It isn't Nissan's or Nissan's. So, after that, you came here and found this, right? Yes. Did you open the door? Rosa-sama, look at this. What? Happy Halloween for... What? Kanan pointed at a single line of English written below the creepy magic circle. Until it had been pointed out to her, she thought it was just another part of the magic circle. There, the following words were written in English. Happy Halloween for Maria. Happy Halloween for Maria. This creepy magic circle was for Maria. Happy Halloween. Yesterday, only one person had said Happy Halloween to Maria. The key phrase matched. It was the Golden Witch, Beatrice. What about Maria? She should be sleeping with her cousins, right? Did you check? My apologies. We just now realized that Maria-sama's name was written here. We still have not checked. Quickly. To the Genshi-mobile! Da-da-da-da. What are you doing? I'll go check on Maria and come back. Tell Krusty-san and the rest too. After that, follow their instructions. After saying that much, Rosa finally noticed that something was odd. Her own rank in this family's conference was the lowest of the 4 siblings. Why has she been the only one called during an abnormal situation like this when the other siblings hadn't been? Even if Maria's name had popped up. Could it be, huh? What? Yes, we tried to contact Kraus-sama, but we couldn't find him. And Madame was not in her room. Judging by the condition of the sheet, she might not have returned to her bed at all last night. Rosa felt something creepy crawling slowly up her back. Did you check inside the chapel? No, not yet. We tried, but actually, the lock to the chapel is special, so the master key will not work. There's a single key that can open it, but that key is missing from the key box. I mean, did you still try to just open it? She didn't want to get closer to the door with the creepy magic circle if she could. Rosa readied herself and approached, then tried pushing and pulling the knob. All she felt was the resistance of the sturdy lock. Oh. We searched to see if there was a window we could enter through, but I think we'd have to break one of the windows if we want to check inside. What do you think? break it. There's no way I can give you approval to do something like that. This is Father's precious chapel. At that time, the events of the previous day swirled around in the back of Rosa's mind. That's right! When I met that witch in the rose garden. Didn't she hand Maria an envelope? With a key in it? Yeah, there's no mistake. She did hand it over. When Maria tried to open it, the witch told her not to do it yet, and then she surely said, the time to open that will come soon. Rosa was sure. There could be no mistake. The envelope Maria had received was... Junko Inoshima is... After dashing back to the guest house, Rosa approached the cousin's room while hiding her footsteps, softly opened the door and peered inside. From the inside, she could hear the healthy snores typical of young people. There were 4 children, and Maria was there, sleeping soundly. After breathing a sigh of relief, she entered the room with quiet footsteps. Okay, so who's dead then? Dead, 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 dead? These 6 this time? Or like 5 and Nanjo? Huh. Okay, I was way off. After breathing a sigh of relief, she entered the room with quiet footsteps. She was after Maria's handbag, which was resting on the sofa. Maria always liked carrying her treasures around with her. She was probably emulating how her mother always carried her makeup with her. Of course, she was just imitating her mother, so everything on the inside was junk. In Maria's case, it was full of small, creepy occult items, notebooks describing things of that nature, and so on. Rosa had never been happy to see her daughter walking around with things like that, which weren't girlish at all. However, trying to force Maria to stop had resulted in a big fight, so she decided to let it be. Let it be. Here. This is it. A western envelope with the crest of the gold eagle. When she took it out of the bag, she realized there was a heavy, vaguely cylindrical object inside. Oh, the key is in there! She could tell by its feel and its weight. There was no doubt. This was a key. Oh, what did the key choose? After turning around and checking that Maria was still sound asleep, Rosa tore open the envelope and the contents spilled out into her palm. It was a key with an old and intricate design. Rosa gripped that key and dashed out. Battler seemed to have noticed that sound, but after grumbling and turning over his sleep, he started snoring again. He was too busy talking to Beatrice. Battler, what do you think about that? The door was locked and the key is in the envelope the whole entire time. So how did the key get locked? It would be trivial to make a copy of this key. No, it wouldn't, because this is a special bullshit lock that only one key can do. Oh, prove it, prove it. Well, I can't do that. Oh, so you're going to not believe because of this trivial detail? Genji, could this key be the key to the chapel? Where did you... Yes, this is the key to the chapel. Rosa approached the creepy magic circle once again and put the key in the keyhole. There was a strong resistance. After it resisted for a short while, it stopped resisting with a clunk. Then, squeaking with a noise that hurt one's ears, it slowly began to open. Slow. Maybe there's another door. We didn't check all the doors. Is anyone there? Her voice reverberated throughout the massive room. Of course, there was no answer. The chapel had a high ceiling and the air was cold. This seems like overkill for, you know, like a island chapel. And even on this rainy, unsettling day, it felt sacred for some reason. The servants timidly followed after Rosa. Rosa-sama, look at that. Canon noticed it immediately and pointed. Over there was the altar. In the place that would normally have a pastor preaching of God's love, there was a table that shouldn't have been there. At first, it looked like a dining table. There actually were gorgeous plates and utensils placed there, making it look like a child's birthday party or something. Wait, what? Upon closer inspection, the surrounding area had been decorated with pumpkins and black and orange ribbons. They were probably Halloween decorations. And there were people seated at the table. 3 people on each side facing each other, seated in chairs. They could be recognized at a glance. Kraus and his wife, Ava and her husband, and Rudolph and his wife. But you wanted to be sure... You know, I was so wrong. God damn. If you want to be sure, you still have to go even closer and check. Because they seemed almost like dolls. Rosa and the rest had opened the door, entered all at once with the sound of many footsteps, and called out, asking if anyone was there. And yet, there had been no reaction. Okay, it's gonna be a lot harder to pretend to play fucking possum when you're dead seated in a chair, instead of laying on the floor. Huh. And yet, there had been no reaction. Even if Rosa and the rest assumed they were being ignored, you'd still expect there to be some kind of reaction. And there hadn't even been that. So at first, it felt like someone had set down some dolls that greatly resembled those people. By now, it wasn't just Rosa, Shannon and Cannon, and even Goda. They were all fighting frantically with the creepy emotion that grasped their hearts. Nisan? Nissan? As she walked toward the altar, she called out again, but there was still no reaction. Yes, by now, Rosa was sure of it. She was sure these weren't dolls, but the people themselves. This is... They grew close enough to see clearly what lay on the table. I think, is it fair to say that aside from Battler, this is quite a a female-dominated perspective story so far? I feel like more times than not, we are being carried with a woman's perspective, right? It seems like that, right? That's pretty cool. They grew close enough to clearly see what lay on the table. It still looked like an adorable banquet, reminiscent of a child's birthday party. Oh, well, we didn't need the chandelier that long. Fuck. Plates piled up with sweets, cute pitchers with drinks, all kinds of pumpkin-shaped ornaments. They were all decorated in a Halloween style, and while this probably wasn't the time to be thinking it, Maria would surely have been delighted to see all this. Is that the spell she did? She made a bunch of candy appear on the table? You know? And Kyrie was too stupid to see that it was just a mirror that was blocking it? Come on. Flip the chessboard. That was the state of the table they sat in front of, apparently asleep. It was an eerie scene, as though a small, fun-looking Halloween party had been stopped in time. They're all sleeping? When she approached even closer to them, she realized that there were snacks scattered all over the floor. Candies, cookies, soda, and chocolates, all with heavily fantasy-themed packaging. Oh man, there must have been another boat. They were all scattered across a carpet covered with blackberry and cranberry jam. Uh-oh, not jam. Isn't that the last boss from Earthbound? Ooh-ah, ooh-ah. Rosa and the rest finally realized what the situation was. Goto's upset, it's a waste of food. It was a Halloween party. A banquet for those not of this world. Kraus, Natsui, Eva... Was that the save button? Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, and Kyrie were seated in chairs, apparently asleep, but all dead. How could you tell they were dead and not simply sleeping? That was because they'd been vertically sliced open from their chests to their stomachs. Okay, who could survive that and also sit still for 8 hours? Kyrie for sure. Karl-sama. How cruel. The six of them had sat down at a Halloween party before having their stomachs split open, killing them. Then the jam covering the floor must be what overflowed from their stomachs once they'd stuffed themselves completely, right? Oh man, they had a lot of jam. No, the contents of the stomachs had been scattered all over the floor. And that wasn't all. Out of their stomachs, it was almost as though they poured out, as though snacks had overflowed from there. Oh god. Candies and cookies, soda and chocolates had poured out, stained with blood, and had scattered across the floor. What could have happened to cause this? It's almost as though their stomachs were stuffed full to bursting with sweets. And it all poured out when their stomachs split open. Rosa remembered a certain shocking meal, a turkey that had been served at her own birthday. When it had been cut open with a knife, outflowed one of her favorite foods. But since she hadn't been told what was inside, the deep red ketchup, omelet, rice... God damn it! Really? Even this one? The fucking poured out like bloody maggots. Ugh, pulsing, dripping, slimy, pulpy, squelching, slow explosion. Well, this is extremely dramatic. This is like Hannibal level posing of the corpses. This is a lot more like extravagant than the last time. The trauma of her youth was revived. Rosa felt the monster raging inside her stomach as the acid started to rise. Unable to hold back, she threw up all over the floor, and then her stomach burst too. Her stomach had nothing but stomach acid. The scene in front of her was no fun Halloween party now. The three couples were enshrined right there, their stomachs vertically wrenched open with a gooey gooba. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's meant to be a sound. Oh, okay. So many snacks have been stuffed in there. Pulpy, squishy. Yeah, we did this. Blood and guts and sweets were overflowing onto the floor. Blood-stained, sticky, sloppy, itchy, tasty, pulpy. Sweet snacks that made your fingers stick together. Gummy. But stained with entrails, sloppy, pulpy. What was that I stepped on just now? That didn't feel like a candy or a cookie or a soda or a chocolate. I'm scared. What did I step on? I can't even look at the bottom of my foot. Yeah, this is actually... that was a good line. Awaki. Ah! Sorry, hold on. Awaki. What a gruesome Halloween party. From far away, it looked like a truly beautiful, fantastical, and fun, but from up close, it was horrible, disgusting, yet somehow still beautiful. Rose's wild thoughts tried as best as she could to escape her throat with a loud voice that was neither a scream nor a roar. Kurasama. This is horrible, just horrible. As she like whistles and just quietly slips the ring off her finger. Call an ambulance. Call the police. That's right, the police. Police, 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 police. Please. If a word so tied to reality hadn't come out of Goda's mouth, Rosa and the rest would probably have found themselves unable to escape that nightmarish party even now. But it wasn't because they thought the police might be able to do something. If they didn't keep yelling about the police, it felt as though another seat might be set up at this demon's party and given to them. Meanwhile, Goda's inching closer to see, how many people finish this calf steak. Not seeing much calf steak in this mess. God damn it! Their own chests felt like they were expanding unpleasantly from the inside. Rumbling, churning, and it was surely because candy was about to overflow from their stomachs. Rosa, once again tortured by a desire to vomit, threw her stomach acid up on the floor, and then she searched to see if there was any candy in it. Damn. Ha ha ha. Aha. Anyway, cough cough. Rosa coughed violently again, forcefully spitting up the stomach acid that had been burning in her throat. She realized that by now, her whole body had been covered in a filthy sweat. Genji-san, Shen and Shin, please contact father and ask for instructions. Goda-san, go with Ken and Kun and call the police. Then have Dr. Nanjo come here. Why even bring Dr. Nanjo here? It's a bit too late for medical care. The servants accepted their orders and dashed outside. After watching them leave, Rosa once again stared at her siblings, with whom she'd spent good times and bad, and their partners. Though there could be nothing more tragic than this scene, for some reason she was tempted to describe these fantastical deaths as beautiful. Ooh. Ooh. One more chapter. Stop on glass break. Not too long. Okay. Thank you. Worth taking a break or no? They aren't here. Nah? Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's different this time. Okay. Well, it would be hard to, like, fake a death this way, so I'm more likely to believe that these are real this time? Why their faces bashed last time? Huh. Okay, his corpse was found in the chapel. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems his stomach was cut open and his intestines pulled out after his death. On top of that, sweets and candies were packed into his stomach. Welcome, Maria. Happy Halloween! Her corpse was found in the chapel. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems her stomach was cut open and her intestines pulled out after her death. On top of that, sweets and candies were packed into her stomach. Didn't I tell you? Stomachs are packed full of candy. Okay, it looks like this is the same for all of them. Are they not? Everyone has a stomach filled with sweet dreams. Why would there be anything filthy inside someone's stomach? This is why we want to be as sweet and innocent as candy. And so, I give you the land of dreams. Happy Halloween. Do you like Halloween? I like Halloween, yeah. They aren't here. Where'd they go? The servant room and the kitchen are both empty. What in the world happened? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Mama. Where's Mama? My letter. The letter I got from Bito. Give it back. Give it back. Wow. Perplexing. Battler-kun, are you sure it was Aunt Rosa? Well, why are you standing in the hallway? Even I was half asleep, so I'm not too sure. But I get the feeling that in the early morning, Aunt Rosa came in and fished around in Maria's handbag. I figured there was probably a tube of toothpaste or something in there. Why would there be a tube of toothpaste in Maria's handbag? Looks like you were a little more than half asleep. Battler vaguely remembered Rosa entering the cousin's room. Also, when Maria woke up before the rest of them, she'd started rampaging around, saying that someone had opened the envelope she'd been keeping safe. Putting two and two together, they figured that Rosa had probably come and opened the envelope. A letter from the Golden Witch. I wonder what was inside. I don't know. But that envelope was for grandfather's personal use, and it had the Ushiramiya family crest on it. Whatever was inside it must have had some connection to the family conference. She hadn't let anyone touch it, but yesterday Maria had shown the envelope off the Battler and the rest a whole lot. So they remembered. Okay, who? Okay, this would take a long time. Also, are there any other signs of like like injury or struggle on them, so it has to be poison again. My mind goes to poison, but just like the act of like splitting their stomachs, putting the candy, making it look like it's sprayed out, like taking the intestines out, like not only would it take a long time, it would be incredibly messy. Like could one person even do that in 6 hours by themselves? That's oh man. Unless Kraus did it to Natsui, then Eva did it to Kraus, then Hideyoshi did it to Eva, then Kirie did it to fucking Hideyoshi, and then fucking Rudolph did it to Kirie, and then the killer did it to Rudolph at the end. There we go. Done. We did it. And then the person who did it only has to clean up 1 mess instead of 6. There we go. Done. So they remembered it well. Ooh. Mama, give it back. Ooh. Wow. Well, if you're right, if you have to be pretty important. Actually, if one of them is somehow faking it with an elaborate bodysuit like that like they only ripped open, then they could sit there still messy in the scene and they wouldn't have to clean up. Ooh. Well, if you're right, it'd have to be pretty important. Why would this mighty witch give something that important to Maria? I don't get it. Every once in a while, the refreshing morning atmosphere was completely wiped out by the sound of thunder. It was only natural. Since the moment they'd woken up, they hadn't met anyone else. It felt like only they were left, as if the mansion had become an empty husk. Hey, anyone there? Answer me. Jessica called out into the hallway, and eventually an answer came back. It came from the entrance hall. Did Goda ever bring the dessert? I can hear you. Has something happened? Oh, it's Nanjo! It's Dr. Nanjo. Thank goodness. It looks like everyone else hasn't disappeared from this island after all. Dr. Nanjo, good morning. Can I see your hands, please? Hands, please. Hands, let's go. Sorry. Do you know where our parents went? Who but Nanjo would be able to set this up in such a way that would minimize the amount of time and mess? Gotta be Nanjo. Nanjo, #1 suspect. Gotta be Nanjo. Dear me, I only just woke up and came here, you see. Suspicious? I have no way of knowing for sure, but let's see. It was only natural. Nanjo was a guest just like the rest of them. He'd come just now to pass the time in the parlor until breakfast. Ooh, Dr. Nanjo, Mama took it. Mama took my letter. Give it back. Ooh. Maria buried her face in Nanjo's plump stomach, sobbing and crying. Stomach, you say? Is it full of candy? Nanjo could do nothing but be bewildered by this ruckus so early in the morning. Takes off the fat suit he's been wearing the whole entire game, even in the last episode, to reveal just oodles of candy just hiding underneath just in case. Like this is what I did. This is my design. Someone's running this way. Jessica, someone's coming. From down the hall, they could sense people running hurriedly. They saw Goda and Cannon coming towards them. Normally, it would be disgraceful for a servant to run inside the mansion, and yet Battler and the rest didn't even think to question that now. Maria's sobbing had become so unmanageable, they wanted to ask anyone where Rosa was, but the 2 servants seemed to have bigger things on their minds than Jessica, who was waving at them. Goda flew into the servant room, and when Cannon noticed that Nanjo was there, he bowed and approached the doctor at a quick pace before whispering something into his ear. What did you say? Rosa-san did? Yes, I will guide you, so please accompany me. Understood. This way. Without saying anything more than that, Cannon finally noticed Jessica and bowed to her, but he wasn't calm. He dashed back down the corridor by which he came, followed by Nanjo. By looking at how hurried they were, Battler and the rest realized that yes, something bad really had happened. They saw Goda through the door to the servant room, which had been flung open. He was holding the receiver and violently pressing the hook. From that, they realized that he was trying to call a hospital or the police. In any event, he was trying to call someone because a serious emergency had occurred. Let's have a look. Yeah. Mama, give it back. Give back my letter. It's an invitation to the Golden Land. They didn't know that. Didn't know what, but something was happening. Battler and the rest chased after Cannon and Nanjo. And then we realized Cannon had called Dr. Nanjo, but he hadn't called us. So we shouldn't have gone with them. I wonder if Alice regretted her... Oh, it's a okay, regretted her excess curiosity when she chased after that rabbit holding a clock. I'm late. So was Rose's letter never opened? Sorry to read chat, but yeah, I was just thinking that myself. Maybe there's a portal in that envelope that went to the other envelope, so they had the first one had a key in it, and then they just plopped it down, and whoop, then it's in Maria's one, and then they ripped it up afterwards. There you go. Not magic, by the way. No, you mustn't go in. You mustn't look. Jessica-chan, no. Mother, father, what happened? Ooh. What the hell is this? This goes way beyond bad taste. Isn't taking someone's life bad enough? What the hell is this? Going to all the trouble after they died of sitting them on chairs, slicing their stomachs, and pulling their entrails out? You went to all the trouble of stuffing their stomachs full of sweets? Why the hell would you do something so fucked up? Damn it, damn it. Nice job, you bastard. Just great, just great. Yeah, you get so aggressive. It would be best if everyone went outside. They certainly wouldn't want you to see them all like this. Nanjo told the children to go outside, but no one listened. Rosa-san, please tell them. If they keep looking at something like this, it will do nothing but harm. Rosa regretted her own carelessness. She should have realized that the children would eventually come here. She should have quickly locked up instead of standing around stunned. So the children had come here. They had seen it. Surely at this very moment they were having a sight burned into their eyes that was far more grotesque than the shocking meal Rosa had witnessed in her youth. While she hugged Maria, who seemed to be too shocked to show any emotion at this gruesome scene, Rosa cried for them and their parents. The four groaning and crying voices of sadness continued to echo in a place that should have known God's love. Okay, are we talking to Bito right now? You piece of crap. Again, another one of these murders. And this time you made it all elaborate, killing them like it's a total joke. Oh, he is! Cackle, cackle, cackle. You can do that? I was rather hoping you'd thank me, not cry out in grief. Thank you? Did you say I should thank you, you old bitch? Damn it, if there's something wrong with your ears, I'll cut them both off so you can hear better. Why should I have to see that insane way of killing and say, oh, thank you very much, Beatrice-sama, I'll beat your brains out. Oh! In the last game, you lamented the fact that you couldn't see your parents' faces after they died, right? So this time, I left them, didn't touch them. Take a good look, for without a doubt, your father and the rest have been killed. Really, what a nice treat. I'm so fucking happy. I swore I'd plow your face after I choked the life out of you, but I'll take that back now. I'll rip your guts out instead. Oh! Don't give in to emotion. Don't stop thinking. My game has already begun, right? Cackle, cackle, cackle. I decided to leave you neat and tidy corpses this time. Do you know why? When you denied my existence in the last game, you used this line of thinking. Their faces were crushed, so the identity of the corpses can't be confirmed. Therefore, we can't eliminate the possibility that fake corpses were prepared to create an alibi. Unless that possibility is denied, a human culprit theory can still be built. Yeah, but they might be cake. Maybe they're cake. What you say? Cackle, cackle, cackle. So, Battler, is it okay to leave the examination of the corpses to Nanjo? Isn't it traditional in mystery novels for the doctor who performs such examinations to be an accomplice? Then don't leave the examination to him. Do it yourself. Make completely sure that without a doubt the 6 corpses are the 6 people they're supposed to be. That they really, really are dead and not just pretending. If you wish to confirm that your father and mother have been killed by having their stomachs cut open and their entrails pulled out, you better stick your hand inside their stomachs and feel around. She's so good. She's so good. I won't cry. Damn it, I won't cry. Battler suddenly yelled. His tears were dripping down, but as though scolding himself for being a sissy, he slapped his face hard several times with both hands. Even so, the tears still wouldn't stop. However, he felt a hot blaze in both his eyes. Whoever's responsible for this piece of work, I'll make them pay back their debt completely. So this isn't the time to cry. Gotta think about what to do. It's useless. It's all useless. If you've got enough time to cry, then think. This is no time to let yourself cry. Rather than genuine anger, maybe it was more of an evasive anger to blot out his sadness. However, it gave a little courage to George and Jessica, who'd been crushed by the sadness. That's right. Even if we cry, it won't change the reality of what has happened. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Then what should we do? What should I do for Mom and Dad's sakes? I almost said it right! Rosa-sama, I have returned. Go-san, what happened with the police? What did they say to do? Did they say when they think they'll be able to get here? As to that, it seems the phones have broken down. I also tried the emergency wireless, but maybe it's the weather, but that isn't working either. What did you say? So we can't contact the police? It's that person. They did something to the phone line, made it so we can't reach the cops. When she heard that the phones had broken down, Jessica immediately decided that it was the work of that mysterious guest. Her eyes were bright red after so much trying, and they began to grow even redder with rage. God, there's no need to talk about it, right? I understand everything. That's right, I get it. Who killed Dad and Mom? It's obviously her. It's gotta be that witch or whatever who came yesterday. I'll grab her by the collar. Damn it, damn it, damn it! Jessica-chan, wait. Go to Sun. Kennen-kun, go. Yes, ma'am. Milady, wait. Covering her uncontrollable sadness with anger, Jessica ran outside, torn apart by emotion. Thinking about it hastily, maybe the mystery guest who'd arrived yesterday, Beatrice, was suspicious. However, in that instant, there was absolutely no proof she was the culprit. At this moment, she's just another guest, no more, no less. So Rosa, making an adult decision, was forced to stop Jessica in her rash rampage. Goda and Cannon picked up on this immediately and chased after her. Could the guest that no one invited, Beatrice, be the culprit? I understand how Jessica feels. I wish I could do that too. Sorry, think that too. It doesn't matter who, I want someone to be the culprit so I can bash him right in the face. But before that, we need a clear understanding of what's going on. Who is this Beatrice? I haven't even seen her face. Wait, so Rosa wasn't in the chapel when she showed them the demon? Like the witch thing? Yeah, Rosa was there for sure, yeah. Rosa was there in that scene. Yeah. If you're looking for her face, it decorates the big portrait in the mansion. You still don't remember after looking at it for so long? Come on, Maria, what's so funny in a situation like this? Beatrice is a witch, and the ceremony to open the door to the Golden Land has finally begun. Those 6 people are sacrifices. Come, let us begin the witches' banquet. Tonight is Halloween, so now the witches will gather to celebrate. It's not? Maria, didn't I always tell you not to laugh with that creepy voice? Oh, this time Rosa's still here. That's going to be different. The crisp sound of Rosa slapping Maria's cheek echoed through the high-ceilinged chapel. Ever since it started raining yesterday, no, ever since the island was swallowed by the typhoon, I felt as though something was wrong. It was bright and sunny when I arrived on Rikkinjima, but since I'd gotten up early and was sleepy, I took a nap. When I woke up, it had already started raining, and ever since that time, suddenly a mysterious visitor calling herself the Golden Witch Beatrice arrived, and it felt like I was sinking bit by bit into a bizarre world. What the heck happened while I was napping? Am I supposed to believe this island was sealed off inside a different world where common sense doesn't apply? Who is this person called Beatrice? Is some unknown person trying to involve themselves with the inheritance problem, just like our parents were freaking out about at dinner last night? Okay, so it seems like Battler now currently has dual personalities. There's the one that's in control of like the regular line that does not remember the other ones at all. But there's also like a passenger like conscious riding with him that seems to be able to like stop time and talk to Beatrice whenever he wants, or maybe go to sleep. I think that seems to be, because these lines don't match that at all. Or he's just like role playing as what he would act like at the same time to play the game. Seems like that. Or is the culprit this witch from the Legend of Gold, just as Maria said? Even if we set Jessica's temper aside, given the circumstances, it's probably safe to say that this visitor person is the most suspicious. But we mustn't make up our minds based on that alone. It's useless. It's useless. It's all useless. I smacked my face with both hands again, cooling off my brains before they overloaded, even though it might have been a wasted effort. This is one of Grandfather's envelopes. On a tray piled up with sweets that decorated the table, George and Nikki found a Western envelope that had the Ushiromiya family crest on it in gold leaf. And it was unopened. Which means it's probably meant for us, right? If it was something Dad and the others read, it should be open. It seems your reasoning is correct. It's written right here. Someone wrote, "To those who remain." Is that a letter the culprit left? What's inside? Nikki, let's open it. After nodding silently, George and Nikki broke the seal. A folded letter came out. I'll read it. Welcome to Rikkinjima, members of the Ushiromiya family. I am Beatrice, the alchemist for this family, employed by Kinzo-sama himself. Okay, I wonder if it's always going to be some variation of these ones, and then one, maybe perhaps 2 split parents left, so the kids actually can have some agency. Because if all of them were alive, they'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, get out of here." Like they would be united. The only reason this is going on right now is because Rosa is like alone. I wonder if it's going to work that way every single time. I don't know. So far, I've been wrong a lot. So I'll read it. Welcome to Rikkinjima, members of the Ushiromiya family. I'm Beatrice, the alchemist for this family, employed by Kinzo-sama himself. That letter really was a joke. This Beatrice, who called herself the family alchemist, had announced that she was collecting the gold she'd lent grandfather along with interest, and that interest was everything grandfather had created. Since this tragedy was right before our eyes as this paragraph was being read aloud, it clearly wasn't referring just to the wealth that grandfather had built up. It was literal. Everything that grandfather had created. In other words, all of the grandfather's descendants were included in the interest. You bastard. What a screwed up contract. Lives as interest for gold, you say? That's almost like a contract with the devil, isn't it? You think it makes you look more like a witch? Ha, don't make me laugh. Special clause. That seemed like someone who knew. However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold in this contract, Beatrice must abandon these rights for all time. Kinzo-sama had already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. In other words, it's something like this. If these murders represent her collecting interest, then she's telling us to try and find the gold she gave grandfather if we want her to stop. And she's also saying that the secret pointing to the gold is hidden in the portrait epitaph. So basically, this is a letter of challenge from the witch. She's telling us to try and solve the code that points to the hidden gold if we can. And if we can't, she'll keep collecting the interest as planned. I'll beat you to death. Bring it on. Batlicon. Look. The table was covered with sweets, so even though those things were right out in the open, we just assumed they were sweets too. I mean, come on, you see them a lot, right? You know, those boxes of chocolate shaped like gold ingots. This is no box of candy. It's the real thing. This is a real gold bar. It's inscribed with the crest of the one-winged eagle. I heard Mother talking about this earlier. This is a gold bar from grandfather's Legend of Gold. Alright, we found it. Game 1. Get fucked, Beatrice. Gold ingots weighing a full 10 kilograms. A whole 3 of them were piled up in the very center of the table. It was where a cake would be placed if it was a birthday party. In other words, this was without a doubt the birthday cake of the party known as the family conference. If these are really 4 nines quality ingots, go. It's worth about 60 million yen. Dumbass! That's too cheap. Our parents have been killed, and all you've got is this pile of 60 million yen in gold. Don't take us for fools, damn it. So it's begun, Beatrice. It's not like anyone can solve this riddle anyway, so Bito will definitely win. Quickly, open the door to the Golden Land and take me with you. Well. How far ahead are we going? Do I have to hit a button? I don't. Oh, we're ending on canon this time. Is this not? Yeah, we're done. We'll be back on Saturday, and Mouse and I are going to read this together. So if you would like to see more, it's going to be easier with someone else doing half of the reading. So close to the cliff. Parnick for the 100 bits. Happy Halloween, Joe. Pincerata also with Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween! Yuri was taking you some bits to say. Beatrice, after finally having killed everyone. Man, I finally killed everyone in the mansion and made everyone respect me. Nanjo, drinking tea in the corner. Still alive, but unnoticed until now. Indeed. Live Nanjo reaction. And thank you, Cyrilix Uwu, for the resub too. Thank you very much, Cyrilix Uwu. Okay, I'm gonna go unless we have like a really like a raid target just like already lined up, and I can just type it in right now /raid. That's it. So let's see. Northern Lion. Okay, we can raid Northern Lion. Oh, is RT streaming? I know RT more than I know Northern Lion. Is RT streaming? No, he finished. Okay, let's not do a raid today. It's fine. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow for Persona 3. Yay! Looking forward to it, actually. I think we might finish it this week. I'm looking forward to seeing the ending. I want to see it. Anyway, see you later, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Have you ever read Pillars of the Earth? I just started. I have not read Pillars of the Earth. Sorry, I do not know that one.